Cubic now has to look for something here. Busco with the teleport, not the most optimal teleport. Great dodge there by Cubic to not get hit with the knockback, and Busco will go down. Good fake out of the super there by Jason. He will still go down, but here's a double jump in from AMA, and Cubic Kanzi looks for blood, though. He gets a double kill. LPL might get away with a couple of bolts here, and that's going to be instrumental for getting that final siege. Blood Diamond, though, still not very concerning. Even Javi has that damage amp hanging over his head. LSSJ has that edge as well. He's going to be using it to block off this area. Javi will be, wow! LSSJ used his gadget to break down the head. In fact, from Rico, we're talking Javi here, and no stun for LPL. Blacksy comes out of nowhere to get that kill as well. Pesset is looking quite vulnerable. An opportunity to super it in. Michu will get that last minute block, and Blacksy tries to get the stun, but he's not going to be able to. He does get that bounce pass over to LSSJ, and right. Not Nuts and Bolts. Nuts and Bolts will be in the rotation today, and we do have the Imps pick to try and slow down some of the tanks, but the Poke Double tank looking so strong from Poco Loco, and this was honestly the best call for them. Ooh, Kanzi is going to be able to snag that ball, though, and move all the way back. This is going to be a goal, it looks like. No, there's no screeching solo from... Question is, will they be able to pick up these bolts at mid? It's going to be a challenge, and it looks like it is going to be more the domain of LPL. LPL does fall, though. There's the breakthrough by Busco. And Busco and Yurcha and Kanzi all collectively work together to take out Poco Loco. Busco is going to go for this. Michu does bump him away, but Busco does not back down for even a moment. LPL, though, is able to get on the point, and Yurcha is getting some great dodges. Let's see. Yurcha has only one hit left on him. LPL does get the slow on a Busco. And Poco Loco is already looking much better than last game, as they have gotten to step on the point just a little bit. But as far as the Mortis play is going, they are just getting countered so hard, and Pesset is going to be the next to fall. Busco gets a free kill here, even with that damage amp hanging over his... There it is, and Navi is racking up those percentage points so fast. MMA is waiting for value with the Scrap Sucker as well. Great defense in response from Javi with his own gadget, but he's not able to stay on the point for very long. LSSJ still looking for some value on Jason, and he is actually able to get some good extra bouncy shots onto Jason. But he's not going to be dealing too much damage on Jason after that. Jason knows his tricks at this point. Oh my gosh, and a huge super from LSSJ. Jason is on such low health, and great taking second place at Worlds just a couple weeks ago. Let's see what they do this time, though. Cubic will have the speed to come up to mid here. Great damage on a Rafa. Rafa's already done. And MMA is going to get to connect with the safe, but that's not what he's here for. He's here to get rid of LSSJ, and LSSJ will marginally survive. But Cubic, that's where the real damage comes in. Let's see what he's able to do. Hype? No, he's not running Hype. He's running... No way. What? No way.
Brawlers! The showdown will make history! Best teams from Russia, Ukraine, Poland, France and Turkey, winners of the Open qualifiers and top 8 invited teams will meet in a final battle for the champion title and a bounty of $10,000. Join the stream on December the 7th. Don't miss out on the epic international group stage of GameStars Brawl Stars Season 2.
Welcome back, everyone, to GameStars Season 2. I am still ready, set, and it's great to be back for the third day of the international group stage. We're going to be moving into Group C for today, and same format as last time as well. We're going to be counting down the clock till our very first match of the day. It's going to be such an amazing one. SK Gaming versus Tribe Gaming EU. 2 world finalists will be going head-to-head in the first match of the day, of 4 matches total. Of course, if you are wondering how exactly we did get to this point in the GameStars tournament, what the prizing is going to be, the format of the tournament overall, we do have an explainer video to catch you up.
Brawl Stars Gamestars Season 2 is going flat out. International group stage will take place from December 7th to December 10th and from December 14th to December 19th. 32 teams. 8 invited rosters with 24 teams that got qualified through regional finals will be divided into 8 groups with 4 teams in each. All matches will be held in GSL format. Only 2 teams from each group will be able to qualify for the international final stage based on their results. And in the finals, brawlers will fight for the prize pool of $30,000. Join our stream and support your favorites at the international group stage of Brawl Stars Gamestars Season 2.
And as always, if you didn't catch all of that, do not worry, because I'll be reminding you throughout the day. But of course, big takeaways, 32 teams in the stage. We've already had 2 teams eliminated just in the first couple of days, and we're going to have another eliminated today. Decider matches also will be played on December 18th. We'll get to that in just a moment. But of course, first of all, we're going to be starting off with SK versus Tribe. Let's get a look at the bracket so we can get a better idea of how things are going to play out. Here is the bracket for Group C today. SK Gaming versus Tribe Gaming EU will be kicking us off. Those 2 World Finals qualifying teams going head-to-head in the opener match will be such an amazing way to start off today. We are still alive, and Sky Blue from Turkey and Iraq will be going second. That's match number 2 for the day, and the winners of each of those matches will be facing off in the winners match. And whoever wins that one will be headed to the international finals and winning a nice little sum of $400. Yeah, not a little sum by any means. Definitely a lot of money to be won, even just today, by winning a couple of matches in a row. Let's take a look at the schedule as well. Of course, starting off with SK Gaming versus Tribe Gaming EU right in about 10 minutes. But of course, we do have some pre-match formalities to go through. We got to look at the maps, and we got to get the bans from both of the teams. We're still alive, and Sky Blue will be facing off in about 40 minutes after that. Though I don't know, something is telling me that it's not going to be a 40-minute match. I think it's going to be quite a bit of a longer match than that. SK Gaming and Tribe Gaming EU are 2 premier EMEA rosters, and I don't think it's going to be a sweep by any means. But I don't know, I would always be here for it. I'm definitely looking forward to, most of all, the winners match of the day to see who will be going ahead and going on to the international finals and already qualifying for the international finals and winning $400 today. Though, of course, there has to be one winner going on to the international finals and one loser, unfortunately, departing from the GameStars Season 2 tournament today, and that's going to be whoever loses that elimination match. So if a team loses 2 matches in a row, then they are out. If you move on to the decider match, though, that's going to be played right before the international finals take place, and that is going to be a day full of eliminations and full of teams also qualifying for the international finals. Once again, it's December 18th, same time, at same place here at GameStars on YouTube, and I highly encourage you guys to come stop by for that one, and I encourage you guys to stay here throughout the day. We are going to be starting off with a pretty premiere match, but it's going to stay just as exhilarating throughout the day. We're going to get to see SK and Tribe play at least twice today, and I know that is a big reason why a lot of people are here. Of course, though, we do have another couple of amazing rosters. We are still alive in Sky Blue. We'll be going head-to-head for match number 2. Moving into match number 1, though, we're already going to get these maps and modes rolled out. Set number 1 is going to kick off with Pinball Dreams. Set number 2 will be on Safe Zone. Set number 3 on Gem Fort. Of course, these are the 3 sets that we are guaranteed. If it's 3-0 sweep, we will get to see all of these maps. But if it is a closer match than that, we'll get to move on over to Bot Drop and then possibly even over to Split for set number 5. But, of course, set number 1 will be Pinball Dreams, and this is an interesting map. We saw it a lot in Brawl Stars competitive in the World Finals, and we're going to get to see it a little bit more in GameStars. It's kind of a peculiar map. It's one that I absolutely love to play on ladder, and I think I speak for a lot of you guys watching as well when I say this is absolutely a fan favorite map, mostly because if you have a super shot, then you can get an amazing classic trick shot with a ball to put it in the goal right around the wall that blocks off the goal. But in competitive, it does introduce a couple of different dynamics. Usually you are going to see some Barley gameplay up the side lanes, and that does make this map a little bit tedious, so some wall breakers would definitely be due to spice up the pace of the map as well. So that is what we anticipate. Here's handsome Drage, one of the people that I got to meet at Worlds, and such a friendly guy. Really do hope the best for Tribe today. And of course, we have Semantic over here as well, also a super friendly guy. Got to hang out with these people a bunch. They're an absolute class act, and I can personally vouch these guys are super friendly, very personable, and I mean, it makes sense why they're some of the best players in the world, right? Because I mean, lots of teammates are going to want to play with him because they're just such relatable and such kind people. Let's get these bans rolled out, though. We have the Leon ban from SK. That is a first for GameStars. And we have Lola ban from Tribe. Lola ban, you know, pretty expected here. Nothing particularly indicative of Tribe, but SK with the Leon ban, I think this means that they are not looking to get diffed on Bot Drop, considering that Leon is a very strong pick there. I wouldn't be shocked if Bell is also banned, but the Leon ban is going to enable some more fair not thrower, but sharpshooter play, some more fair Bell play. So we'll have to get those second bans out and see. There's the Rosa ban. Interesting move from Tribe. Lola ban from SK, which is going to be a duplicate ban, so we'll only have 3 total brawlers banned during this match. And this is something that we're pretty familiar with from the Brawl Stars World Finals and the Brawl Stars Monthly Finals. This is the exact same mechanic of blind bans. Teams submit their bans before they are sure what the enemy is submitting. And, you know, any other kind of ban format can introduce some interesting and strange kind of coin flip dynamics into the game, so it does make things more fair, though it does leave one brawler unbanned that could otherwise be banned. So we'll see what kind of impact that does have on our upcoming game, but it's great to see that Lola is out of the mix because Lola otherwise would be in basically everything. But a brawler that we can pretty much guarantee to be very frequent on this matchup is going to be Meg. Meg is still a very powerful brawler. She switches from that long-range kind of chip damage brawler. She's able to get her super very reliably to a tank that gets lots and lots of damage output, and especially at close range, she's able to use that super that charges up for free and get around 3,000 damage off of something that charges up for free. So she's a really great brawler, and I would not be surprised to see her at all. It's going to be tough to counter her out, and we'll see how the teams play around that and adapt around that. So I also want to say welcome everyone who is joining the stream from Twitter, because I tweeted out, guys, I'm lonely, come join GameStars, what's up? Yeah, imagine if we had pins here on GameStars. We don't have pins, but we might have spins, and we're definitely going to have some wins for you guys as well. Make sure you say in chat who you think is going to win. Will it be SK or Tribe Gaming EU? Both of these teams will as well get to move on to play at least a second game for the day. So you'll get to see your fair share of SK and Tribe, because I know we have lots and lots of fans on both sides of the brawl today. So welcome everyone to the stream. Hopefully we're going to be getting into these games momentarily. Players are getting their last minute preparations done. We saw Drage and we saw Semantic both on camera, so we know they are ready to go ahead and get into the brawl. As far as what brawlers they are going to play, I can definitely tell you that when we move into bot drop, we're going to see lots of long range brawlers. Mortis is also available, which is one to be a little bit concerned about. We've seen Mortis banned in almost every single matchup in GameStars previously over the past couple of days, and coming into today, that is not going to be the case at all. We're going to be starting off the day with probably a bit of Mortis play and probably a bit on bot drop as well. It's important to get that first bot on bot drop and then control mid from there. But I mean, honestly, as far as siege maps go, bot drop is probably the easiest to retake, and that's not really saying much though, because it is very hard to retake mid on siege in general, because things are pretty spaced out, and it is very tough to come back from a bolt deficit as well. And then once you do have control of mid, keep control of mid, because you're going to be shoved out by a bot most likely. So we'll see how things pan out as we move into set number 1. Pinball Dreams, once again, is going to be our first set of the day. Yeah, welcome everyone in chat. It's great to see you all in chat enjoying GameStars. It is such an amazing matchup. I honestly cannot believe that SK and Tribe Gaming EU are going to be facing each other in not set number 1, but match number 1, the opener match. As far as opener matches go, it's probably the best one that we could have hoped for among all of the groups, if I'm being completely honest. Though it does mean that one of these two teams is going to have to get to the international finals the hard way, because these premier rosters are most certainly planning on getting to the international finals. But one of them's going to have to do it the hard way. One of them's going to have to go through the decider match, and they're going to have to face the possibility of getting knocked out. I don't know if Lena plays for Tribe here. He might. I would love to see Lena play for Tribe. Something tells me no. I mean, Tribe does already have 3 members, so they could be looking to pick up a 4th, though. Lena doesn't really strike me as a brawler that would usually split off from his usual duo. So, yeah, any idea where is Spin? We'll see where he is. I don't think he has his camera on. We'll see if he gets in game. If not, then maybe we do have the chance of seeing a 4th in the game. It would definitely be exciting. I would love to see it. In just a couple minutes here, those players are going to be loading into the first game. I know that they are just chomping at the bit, ready to get into some Pinball Dreams action. We talked about some brawlers that could be pretty frequent here. Talked about Barley, some other brawlers that could be pretty likely here, though. I think Surge could be a great counter for Barley. And as a consequence, anything that really counters out Surge would be a good option as well. Tara would, I think, be pretty possible, and it would not surprise me if SK or Tribe Gaming EU run that one. Also, Spike, I could expect to see from either of these rosters, probably more SK than Tribe. Both of those brawlers have gadgets that can do a pretty good job of countering Surge's teleport, making it pretty much useless, and making Surge unable to do anything really on that lane where he's just relying on the teleport in. Spin is a 4th man. Okay, interesting stuff. I did not know that. I did not know that Spin was the 4th. Well, I guess I thought he was at the forefront of the roster, though Spin is kind of popping off on content, so it would make sense if he's focusing more on that. Hey, let's go, and Lena is in the house, in the chat. What's up, Lena? And apparently he's playing today as well, so best of luck, Lena. I wish you the best, and I would love to see some epic Mortis plays, but I mean, I won't be the first to warn you that SK is definitely expecting Mortis, especially on bot drop. Yeah, best of luck to all of our players, anyone in chat. I feel like Lena is the only one, though, who is checking out chat. Yeah. Hey, smile. Sakura, I'm already smiling. That's the thing, though. Have I not been smiling the entire time? Ever since I saw Lynette come in here, I could not stop smiling. So yeah, just a little bit of information for you. Well, we are at the match start time, so any second now we'll be loading into that first game on Pinball Dreams. Of course, momentum is a huge factor in the success of these teams, in the success of the respective teams. Whoever gets the first win does have the momentum in their hands. We'll see who it goes to. I would honestly, I kind of think Tribe Gaming EU could take the first game and then try and run it from there. This is sort of the play style of SK Gaming. They do get a really good feel for how the enemy plays, and then they bring it back in sort of a reverse sweep. But you know, how much of a reverse is it if you were expecting it all along? You can tell though that SK is really preparing for set number 3. So the banking on that one, SK is playing the entire match, playing every set rather than just the first few in hopes of momentum, which I think says a lot about their play style, and it says I think it says a lot about their strategy and their mindset going into this, that they're already looking to set number 3, right? They're not just going for the momentum here and trying to, you know, get the energy to carry them all the way to success. Of course, SK is coming off of a bit of an upset from Worlds. You know, they've had plenty of time to deal with it. I know that for certain, and I'm sure there have been lots of talks behind the scenes as well as to what's going on. So really hopeful for a great next season for SK Gaming. I think they did get a little bit I don't know, I think a little bit out of their comfort zone being up there on the podiums, right? And also knowing that they were the ones who were expected to win, which led to them being a little bit surprised by a very confident Tribe Gaming NA. And that's just my personal take on the whole thing. I avoided talking about it with the SK players because I know that they were, yeah, still pretty heartbroken about it and still pretty hurt, as really anyone would be. In my opinion, they took it very well. But I would love to see the developments that are happening in the offseason leading up to the next monthly finals. EMEA is going to be an amazing one, especially with all the roster changes happening and a lot of players now becoming free agents and swapping around different rosters. Good luck, Lena. Let's get into game number 1. And we do see Lena on that Surge on the right lane. We talked about the possibility of Surge, and there he is. Interesting to see, actually, the Sandy, though, from Semantic up on the left lane. He is going to get a lot of speed, not just from Sandy's base kit, but also from the bushes. A great pull there by Skyrix. He is going to have to sacrifice some of the bushes. Now with a clutch teleport in, is going to sacrifice that as well. It does make sense for him to use his teleports that way, as he's not really going to win any matchups automatically with the gadget as Sandy usually would. There's also the Sandstorm going down from Semantic. He will fall, and now this is a 3v2. As SK looks to bring this back to mid and keep the control under their hands, or perhaps stay as far up as they can. Jen does have that super, and Semantic's going to get the speed. He's not going to be able to push up the right lane, though. He doesn't want to feed Lena that next level. If Lena gets another level and then dies, he'll still be able to get up to level 3, and all of SK will still be operating at a range disadvantage. In fact, all of SK is operating at a range disadvantage to 2 of the enemies on Tribe Gaming's side. The exception is, of course, Tom, who's trying to get around this left side. Unfortunate miss super there by Drage. It would have hit had Jet not used the speed, so it was good teamwork there by SK. Let's see what Semantic is planning here, though. He is going to play very aggressive, and Lena is going to stay put right where he is and wait perhaps for overtime to approach. Tribe does have the outcomp in overtime, so 55 seconds until that arrives. SK is trying to rely on Tribe getting a little bit impatient. Great dodge of the gadget from Semantic by Lena, and Semantic will fall to the attack from Drage. Tom might be able to walk this in. There's the pull by Skyrix. Jen wants to defend this, but he can't. Lena is able to put this in, and there are only 35 seconds on the clock for SK to bring this back. They do have, of course, the amazing trio of Gene, Max, and Sandy, but it's not going to be working super well for them so far. Unfortunate missed pull there for Skyrix. Lynette is going to clutch this over to the enemy side, does attempt to super it into the goal, but it's not going to go in. Here's a speed. Skyrix won't be able to get anything here. Semantic really tries, and there's a super away from Tom, and that is probably going to be the end of the game. There's no hope for SK to make this to the other side of the arena. Semantic, not really pleased about that one, but SK is so good about mentally resetting after a loss. Nonetheless, great play from Tribe. Great plays towards the end there as well, especially Tom and Lena both getting that ball supered away over to the enemy side. Lena did try and make a goal off of that, and that I find pretty remarkable, because he has gone for a lot of like YOLO kind of goals and still not gotten punished very hard for it. That is definitely his teammates backing him up on that one. An interesting kind of team dynamic now that Lena is in the mix for Tribe Gaming EU. Nonetheless, that is going to be game number 1 going to Tribe Gaming EU, and SK will be having to take a back seat for this set, as this was a pretty dominating performance by Tribe. I think it was also kind of an interesting comp there by SK. They did try and make the Max and Sandy and Jean work, which I mean, I think we are coming a little bit full circle here. Last time, or around this time last year, that was very, very meta. And yeah, not quite anymore, but maybe it could be making a resurgence. We did see some good plays throughout the game there by SK. I just think that they did get stopped a lot there by Tom on the Frank. Tom was just super tanky, and the damage output from SK Gaming was lacking because of their comp choice, I believe. So we'll see if that changes up in the next game. I know SK Gaming is capable of running sort of the same composition that Tribe Gaming EU is running, so let's see what they choose in the next game. We'll be getting into that one momentarily. In any case, though, we do have some talk about Lena. Yeah, it is interesting to me to see Lena playing for Tribe Gaming EU. I wonder what the deal with the AQM is. Of course, we'll have to see later down the line what exactly is happening. But it is fascinating to me, right? And I would love to see some more Lena plays. And I would love to see some more Mortis play as well. I think we have a possibility of seeing that on bot drop, especially considering the Leon ban from SK does indicate that they want to even out the long-range brawler matchup. I think particularly on Bell, since that brawler is available and is super good on bot drop for defending the bot. But yeah, I think the Leon does indicate that long-range brawlers are going to be played, or that SK wants to play long-range brawlers. Of course, they know that Tribe Gaming EU knows that, so maybe they will play around the possibility of Lena on the legendary Mortis. Let's see, though, SK switching up the strategy this time. They are going to get Jetton onto that Barley this time. Tom, interesting, once again on the tank, and Drage once again on the Byron. Tom keeps on pushing forward, though. He is going to be farming up that super gradually, and will almost go down. Great dodges from Tom, actually. How is he still alive? There he goes down to Jetton, but on the left side, Lena has successfully pushed forward onto Skyrix's territory. Skyrix really trying to make it forward, but he does end up succeeding. Actually, Lena will fall, and this is actually pretty good positioning for SK, especially Jetton over here. He is going to be looking for some damage on Tom. Tom is distanced from Drage, so that's not going to be an amazing position for him. Teleport forward by Lena. Lena would really like to get onto Jetton, but he's not going to be able to, not quite yet. That is the ideal lane matchup. It's also one teleport used so far by Lena. Here's a super in from Tom. There's a stun as well. He does take down Jetton, and SK will have to back up just a little bit. Lena still has to dodge out these attacks from Semantic very well. Lena is dodging these shots very well. He's pushing forward, and no trick shot from Lena, but he is trying to get that third level, trying to get that super out and perhaps get a dodge off of the use of that super. Meanwhile, on the left side, Tom is completely back capping over here. Jetton is trying to get damage on him, and Tom's doing a good job of avoiding. Does end up getting taken down, though, unfortunately. Meanwhile, SK is still set up here at mid. That ball is all the way stowed away in the little nook of that bush and the fence. Let's see, Lena, no way. Is he going to be able to put it in? Oh, almost is able to put it in. Lena always going for those clutch supers, the clutch plays, going for the goal. And this, I think, is going to make SK play very, very defensively. This is a very surprising strategy from Tribe to see them playing so aggressively versus such a talented roster and taking all of these risks and still playing it very, very well. Tribe Gaming, though, they are operating at a bit of a range disadvantage. Tom is taking a bunch of damage. Jetton has that super, and that goal is going to be cleared out as soon as overtime hits. There's a Sandstorm as well. SK is an unknown enemy. Tribe, what are they going to be able to do? Lena will be able to get the... No way! And he's able to... No, he's not able to super it in. How tragic. 2 times in a row, Lena tried to get the ball in the goal and wasn't able to do so. But nonetheless, Tribe are able to bring this back. They're going to be operating at a very, very tough defense, though, and there is a Sandstorm that Semantic and Jetton playing just at the edge. Lena gets a couple of shots off. Tom might be able to get this. No way, and there's a suplex from Tom. There's the pass to Tom, and the goal. Drage definitely feeling on top of the world after that one, and SK is really feeling the heat after a couple of losses in a row. Unfortunate there for SK, but just show-stopping stuff from Tribe Gaming. Amazing, amazing gameplay by them, and I was so shocked actually to see Primo with the yeet there at the end with the suplex supplement just to get Jetton. It was kind of funny. You could see the smile on Drage's face. You could see the laugh there because that was honestly a funny moment. There's the first goal there from Lena. An amazing teamwork from Tribe to make that happen. Seconds counting down there. This was the win for Tribe Gaming in game number 1. Game number 2 was quite different. This is when we saw Lena and Tom working together so well. There's the yeet. Drage is happy about that one. Look at him laughing. Yep, and there was the goal following that. Amazing stuff by Tribe Gaming, and you can see actually by the kills that Tribe Gaming was a bit of an underdog in this matchup. In fact, a lot of an underdog. SK Gaming was consistently winning the team matchups, but Tribe Gaming was just playing so aggressive in the right scenarios. Like SK Gaming was getting a lot of kills and they were getting a lot of damage, but here's what Tribe Gaming did. They had their secret weapon, Lena, over here, going for those clutch goals, and did unfortunately whiff it. I think it might have been impossible both of the times that he went for it. There were other times where Lena went in for the teleport to try and get the goal. But it most certainly kept SK Gaming on their toes and playing really defensively for the entire time. And for a good portion of that match, that meant that Tribe Gaming EU was kind of feeding them kills. But I mean, as long as the mid fight stays at mid, then both teams are, playing equally well, in my opinion. Great stuff by Tribe in set number 1. Let's see how SK responds in set number 2. Safe Zone is going to be set number 2. Long range map. No Leon here, I don't think in any case, but SK, that was their choice of ban. Lola is going to be another brawler that was banned out. That would usually be able to do a lot of damage on Heist. I'm not super certain about Safe Zone. It might be able to work, but Safe Zone, the meta is still pretty locked in. We're looking at long-range brawlers, and some long-range brawlers are capable of wall break to open up the side lanes as well. Sometimes we do see a little bit of surge play on the lanes, and we did see Lena on the surge, so that would be exciting to see once again. But I think it is going to be a bit of El Clasico. Yep, we're going to see the Bell, we're going to see the Piper, Rico coming up the lane on the left side as well. That's going to be Tom, and he's going to try and outrange Skyrix as well as get a range advantage. There's a great first kill, though, by Jetton taking out Lena, and Semantic will be headed for a kill as well. Great mid player, and he just focuses right on the safe and then changes focuses to Lena. He's helping out Jetton on his lane, but Jetton will go down. He's playing very aggressive, and Drage is going to look to punish Semantic as well. Perfectly timed super there by Semantic to be able to back up here. Lena will get some pot shots on that safe, but nothing super significant, and Drage will get punished for playing so aggressively as well. Great gadget there by Semantic. It's not going to net him a kill, but it will let Skyrix push up a little bit on this left lane. Jetton also looking for more damage versus Lena. Lena doing a good job of dodging. Jetton also getting solid damage on him, and Semantic will pick up the kill. Tribe still playing defensively. They are at the damage disadvantage for the moment. Semantic once again with a perfectly timed super to avoid the killing blow from Drage. Amazing timing from Semantic so far, especially as a mid brawler. You can also see he's running a snappy sniping because he is popping off those shots so fast, especially when he is hitting them. He's getting a little bit of ammo back from that star power. Meanwhile, on the right lane, Jetten is going to be looking for this damage on Lena. They both have their supers. It's really a tough call for Jetten whether he wants to use his super here or not. He might use it. No, never mind. There's the full clip by Jetten, and he wins the lane versus Lena. That will allow Semantic and Jetten to push up, and Semantic claims yet another kill on Drage, and here comes the damage from Jetten, all powered up from that gear as well. Meanwhile, on the left side, though, Skyrix is having a very, very tough fight with Tom, and Tom now knows that it's really time to ramp things up, but he does get punished for his aggression as he pushed up just a little bit too far and too fast versus Skyrix. Drage also avoiding all kinds of damage, but Semantic gets a couple of taps, and that's all he needed. Meanwhile, though, Lena still looking for damage. He is fighting a 2v1. It does go for Semantic. Unfortunately, is not able to get that prediction correct on Semantic and will not get much out of that super. But Drage is looking for that last bit of damage onto Semantic. Semantic once again with a greatly timed super. Lena looks for the pull clip. He is able to get it on Jetten, and this is when it's time for Tribe to get loads and loads of damage. Will Lena be able to do it? Drage gets the kill. So does Lena, and that is going to be the game at the last second, going to Tribe Gaming. Unbelievable stuff there from Tribe Gaming. They kept their composure till the very, very end. But honestly, on the other side of things, I don't even think this was really many misplays by SK. I don't think this was a bunch of misplays at all. I think we did see some situations where Tribe was getting a little bit too aggressive on their lanes. I think most notably, Drage was getting very, very aggressive. And then as soon as SK bounced back, Drage got instantly punished. But this is something that we've noticed, or something that I've personally noticed, and I encourage you guys to look for as well throughout the match, is that Tribe Gaming, they will have like one player take like a huge risk, get punished for it really, really hard, and then they'll still be so flexible and play so passively and so coolly and calmly as they're fighting a 2v3 fight. And you find yourself so often in a 2v3 fight that it would not surprise me if Tribe Gaming EU is in the background drilling 2v3 fights in scrims to prepare for these kinds of situations, because they played it so well. We saw how Lena, even though he didn't connect it, did go for that killing blow on Semantic at mid. He did not get that super off on Semantic, but it shows how quickly he's switching from one target on his lane to the target at mid to keep both of them occupied and to keep both of them from pushing up. It's a great way to apply pressure, and I think Lena is just a class act. So we'll see what exactly happens in game number 2. This is the third win in a row for Tribe Gaming EU, but of course, it's nothing out of the ordinary for SK Gaming. They typically do bring it back in the final 3 sets, and we know they're preparing something, probably, maybe something special, but we definitely know they're preparing something for set number 3 on bot drop, because we saw the Leon ban at the beginning of the game, and Leon's pretty much mostly applicable in bot drop. I think maybe that's where they're looking to turn the momentum around, and until then they're kind of collecting data, collecting knowledge, you know, taking some Tribe Gaming EU games back to Mother Base for further processing, development, and research, and of course, by SK Gaming HQ, I mean Pedro, right? Doing all the analysis on the back lines and giving lots of amazing advice and calling out plays. I think that's probably what's happening in the background. We saw it almost happen at Worlds. Tribe Gaming in A did a really good job of keeping the pressure on SK. It looked like it would almost be a clean sweep, and then SK started to bring it back, and Tribe Gaming in A was able to bring it back from that in set number 5. Let's see what SK has to offer in set number 2. It is going to be the mirror match this time. Tribe Gaming doing away with the Rico. I do think Tom was doing a pretty good job on the Rico, but he wasn't necessarily winning the lane. It was him and Skyrix being pretty even throughout that entire match, both mostly focused on each other for the entire duration of the last game. So we'll see what the bell means for Tom. But once again, we see Drage and Lena playing their same role. Semantic will get tapped by that homemade recipe, but he doesn't really stop pushing up too much. He will have to retreat a little bit versus Drage. Drage is going to play very aggressive. He could get pinched between Skyrix and Semantic, but Semantic gets smacked by a huge hit, and Jen will get smacked by a huge hit. There's amazing dodges, but he does get taken down by a shot from Drage, and Semantic fires back with the kill onto Tom. Lena looks for the super. There's a little bit of damage on the safe, and same goes for Drage. A little bit more damage on the safe. Lena is on such low health, and Jetten is going to look for the kill, though he is going to hope maybe that Lena walks into the silver bullet. Doesn't, but Semantic still able to pick up the kill at mid. Still a disadvantage in terms of damage for SK. Jetton's looking to change that, does get 10% off of the save, and nice smack there from Tom to get rid of Semantic. Tribe Gaming EU will once again get to push up here, but they're not really going to risk it. They need Drage to heal up. He is kind of the glue that holds this team composition together as the mid brawler. Semantic is looking for some tricky flicks. Is he going to be able to get it? Drage is getting good dodges. Semantic switches focuses onto Lena. Lena's only on 480 health, and Jen will look for the kill. Lena with amazing dodges, but he does get himself into a corridor, and now SK can go to town on the safe. 68% remain, a massive amount of damage dealt in such a short period of time, but backfires Lena on the right side. Jen is still trying to keep him back. He does have a super in his arsenal, something that he does have on Lena. Let's see on the left side, though, once again, Tom and Semantic having, or rather not Semantic, Skyrix having a pretty furious face-off. Ooh, Drage will get full clipped by Jetton, and a great dodge by Lena. He's able to dodge out the super and get the kill on Semantic. Let's see how much Tribe Gaming EU can get on the save. Tom is on such low health. Semantic has to try and defend here. 5% differential. Lena is able to break through, and there's not enough time to fire back. Tribe will be taking the win by just 8%, and SK will fold in the final few seconds once again. That will be Tribe Gaming taking us to set number 3. Unbelievable stuff. 2 sets in a row won, and SK was so close to claiming victory both of the last couple of games here in set number 2. In any case, though, it does go to Tribe Gaming EU. We'll be heading into set number 3 momentarily for bot drop. But of course, we do have some highlights from the last set, and from there, we'll be able to break some of these things down. We see Lena getting amazing full clips on the right side. Yeah, Semantic obviously not happy about what is happening in the last few seconds. Let's see, though, Jetton did get popped there by Drage. Drage picked up another kill. Semantic fired back and was really giving it his all. And here's Lena getting taken down by Jetton. And this is when we saw like a pretty big play here from Tribe once again. Like SK, they did get good plays, but Tribe it just seems like they always pop off at the exact right moment. And here's a damage comparison between both of the teams. Similar kills, similar damage dealt to brawlers, but much different damage dealt to the safe. We saw it was very close both games, but really the the damage was not, the damage was quite marginal in the situations where it was the winning factor for Tribe Gaming EU. It just seems like Tribe Gaming EU pop off exactly when they need to, and that is what something that should make them pretty terrifying, I think, for SK Gaming. SK is a great roster. They played consistently well throughout the entire game, and then Tribe Gaming EU pops off at just the right moment. It's the same theme that we have talked about the entire matchup that we've been noticing, is that Tribe Gaming EU, they'll kind of go for like a YOLO sort of move, like go for something clutch, fail it, and then it doesn't even affect them because their other 2 teammates are able to fight the 2v3, and they're able to bring the fight back to mid or keep it at mid and act as if that attempt at a clutch never happened. And that is my bad. We are not going to be going to bot drop for set number 3. It is in fact going to be Gem Fort, but provided we move on to set number 4 for bot drop, SK is probably going to be playing around that Leon ban. Gem Fort, though, also a map that Leon ban can be very useful. Leon's lollipop drop makes a mid-fight pretty difficult if you're playing into it and don't have a Leon of your own. You're not able to predict where the enemy is, and I think for SK this does cause them quite a bit of trouble, so they are going to be getting rid of a no Leon play there, which does raise some questions. What on earth is going to be played? We could see some Sprout play. Doesn't look like we're going to see any Sprout play just yet. In fact, it is going to be the mirror match. Interesting. Pam matchup at mid. We see a Jetton and Tom on the left side, and Lena versus Skyrix on the Sandy matchup. Let's see who gets the win. Lena, wow, somehow is able to get the win in this matchup. Usually for Sandy, it's a game of chicken to use that gadget. And typically the Sandy who uses it second will win the matchup, but Lena was able to win that matchup by using the gadget first. Interesting stuff. On the left side, though, Jetton is doing a pretty good job of keeping back Tom. Skyrix throwing down his own Sandstorm will be able to push up on the right side. Meanwhile, Semantic has set up his turret in a pretty safe position. Lana has the gadget, and he is interesting. I wonder why he just went for a quick stun onto Skyrix and nothing else. Maybe he wanted to take Semantic's attention away from mid and towards himself. It is going to be posing a good amount of assistance, though, especially for Drage. There's a Sandstorm as well. Semantic is on low health. Drage might be able to pick up the kill. Nope, Semantic has a Scrap Sucker. Drage throws down a turret of his own. Lana pushes around the right side. Semantic has to completely retreat, and Drage is able to pick up that 9th gem. He continues pushing forward. Drage picks up the kill on a Jetton. Semantic cannot push in. Drage plays around the Scrap Sucker and is able to take away all of Semantic's ammo, and Semantic goes down. It's all down to Skyrix and Jetton to make something happen. Great super there by Tom to keep things back, and the Bouncy Castle as well to occupy the left lane. Skyrix wants the stun, but he just can't access Drage, and that is 5 wins in a row for Tribe Gaming EU. We're headed to the match point. What on earth am I watching? I did not think that SK would have this much difficulty versus Tribe Gaming EU, but I mean, honestly, Tribe Gaming EU, they were probably preparing a lot for the SK matchup leading up to the bracket announcement, you know, not really knowing exactly who they were going to be faced up against, and you always got to prepare for the most difficult scenario. They also, after the bracket was released, needed to prepare for potentially facing SK in the semifinals. So I think it's the quarterfinals, but I think honestly this is such shocking gameplay from Tribe Gaming. I cannot believe they're playing this well, especially with a player that has just now joined their roster. Of course, I'm talking about Lana, and it seems like the Tribe Gaming EU playstyle has also shifted quite a bit, right? And I will break it down for you guys once again. It seems like they're very good at getting clutches when it's absolutely necessary, right? Like sending one teammate on a Sui mission, and then the remaining 2 brawlers find some opportunities to win their respective lanes. I think that this is what they've realized that SK does. SK looks for matchups, like 2v1 matchups that they are more statistically likely to win, which is a really, really great strategy. But the way that that Tribe Gaming EU is using it against them is they realize that by sending in a single brawler, that 2 enemy brawlers are going to go after it, right? Which means that one brawler is distracted off their lane, and the other brawler is left completely alone without any assistance from mid, which gives the other 2 brawlers, right, from the Tribe Gaming EU roster to have an advantage on their lanes that otherwise would not be there. That is how I'm attempting to break it down. I could be completely wrong, but it is, I think, a pretty nice meta perspective, a nice way to look at it from a, you know, kind of zoom out, larger perspective, and see why exactly Tribe Gaming EU is taking it down SK in this sort of fashion. Now, we did see this happen actually at Worlds. SK Gaming did get brought to a 0-5 record by Tribe Gaming NA, and they were able to pull it back after that. Once again, the mirror matchup. Let's see if it works out for SK this time. They have learned some of Tribe Gaming's moves. Let's see how it works out. Lana is going to go for the matchup on the right side. It is not going to be too successful for him, though, as he is outranged by Lana. Does look for the lane switch up and does trade a kill there with Jetton. Tom is going to try and push up over here. Does get a nice angle on that super dropped by Semantic, and a big super onto Skyrix, but Skyrix is able to win in the end. So far, pretty good control by SK. Drage is going to have to be careful as Jetton is pushing up on the left side. Tom is not able to get value off of that super. Lana does a great job of dodging out the attacks from Rico. Skyrix still trying to push up on the left side, but he is just too far up. Drage also now gonna find some refuge inside of this Sandstorm dropped by Lana. Semantic is trying to check these bushes, but he is gonna get a lot of his scrap stolen there by Drage. Drage takes a lot of damage, but will still be able to set up camp here with the use of that turret. Lana dodges all of the damage from Jetton's super and stuns him once and does look for the kill. Can't get it quite yet. Jetton had an amazing bouncy castle use there, but it is not going to be able to keep him alive. Semantic is so close to going down. Lana gets all of his attacks sucked away by Scrap Sucker. Great last-ditch effort there by Semantic, but Drage will be walking away with 10 gems once again. This is looking way better for SK than it did last game, though. They do have the chance of pushing in here. Jetton has a super ready to go. He could corner Drage over here. There's a super as well from Semantic, and it's just not going to be enough. Drage will be keeping those 10 gems, and Tribe Gaming will be taking the 6-0 over SK Gaming. What an astounding performance there from Tribe Gaming EU. I don't think anyone saw this coming, but of course, all the Tribe fans watching and hanging out here with me were kind of hoping for it. Not even kind of hoping for it. Everyone was hoping for it. Fingers crossed, absolutely paid off. Let's break down the last set to see exactly how Tribe got it done. They repeatedly were able to win these lane matchups. Skyrix did have tremendous difficulty, especially with the turret over there. He got taken down by Mama Squeeze just a moment ago. Lana lost there versus Jetton, but was able to bring it back, being super, super surprising. I think Tribe is doing an amazing job of playing around the new gears that were just introduced into the game. We see Jetton looking for that kill on a Drage there right at the end with the super, but unfortunately didn't get any value. And look at the difference between these two teams. Much less damage done by SK Gaming and a lot fewer kills by SK Gaming. I'm not exactly sure what to make of this. Maybe this is just a mode diff by Tribe Gaming EU. They're just that good at Gem 4. They're just that good at Gem Grab in general. But honestly, if that's not the case, then this is absolutely SK just kind of succumbing to the momentum. And this is not really characteristic of SK. In the past, they have been very, very good at bringing back the momentum even after a loss, just mentally resetting after everything. But it does seem that, after a long period of chronic pressure to be the best, to be the #1 in the region, and everyone's saying that they're the best and expecting them to win, that it's finally starting to get to them. But SK Gaming overall had better stats. They had more kills, they had more damage. Tribe Gaming EU, what did they do? Well, it seems that they weren't too shy about getting killed when it did pose an advantage for them, right? There are periods where getting taken down and having to be sent back to the respawn can mean an advantage for your teammates. Honestly, someone's gonna have to do some corporate espionage on the Tribe Gaming EU headquarters, because this strategy doesn't seem like it should work, but it absolutely does. We'll take a look at the bracket and how it has changed as we have proceeded through the day in just a moment here. But with Tribe Gaming EU getting taken down, or not getting taken down, but getting the win like that, they will be heading on to the winners finals, and they'll get to compete to head on to the international finals in the final match of the day. So make sure you come around for that last match of the day. SK Gaming will be playing in the losers finals, or rather the elimination round, and if they win that one, they'll be headed on to the decider match. So with that being said, I do believe we're going to get a look at the bracket and see how things have updated, of course, after we take a short break. So I hope to see you guys back in just a few minutes here. Make sure you get up, stretch, maybe put on some deodorant, because I was definitely sweating throughout this entire one. It was so surprising. But in any case, I'll see you guys back in a few minutes after a short break.
Всем привет, меня зовут Алим. Мой никнейм Селин, я капитан команды Golden Age.
Hello everyone, my name is Science and I play for Old Schools.
Чтобы победить в захват кристалля, надо собрать 10 гемов и можно уже входить.
10 gems.
Я думаю, да? И стоит скин вроде бы 150 гемов.
Yes, maybe.
Я думаю, то, что в игре 5 бойцов по редкости эпические.
5.
Чтобы выжить в роборубке, надо продержаться 2 минуты и 13 секунд, если я не ошибаюсь.
2.5 or 3. I'll go with 2.5 minutes.
В клубе может находиться максимум 30 человек.
Maximum number of members of Brawl Stars club can have is 30.
Сейчас в игре доступно 52 бойца.
There are currently 52 brawlers available.
У Леона на первом уровне 3200 здоровья.
I think it's 4000 health.
Welcome back, everyone, to GameStars Season 2. I'm still ready, set, and this is still the second match of the day. We're going to be getting into our second match here in the international group stage of course, Group C. It's going to be We Are Still Alive versus Sky Blue for our second match of the day. And the winner of this match will have to go on to face Tribe Gaming EU in the group stage final. Whoever wins that match will be getting $400 and also heading on to the international final. Let's see how things have been shaping up for the day. If you watched match number 1, you're probably just as shocked and I think overjoyed as I am. A huge win from Tribe Gaming EU over SK Gaming, taking a 3-0 victory. That is going to put them in the winner's match at match number 4 of the day. We are going to see We Are Still Alive versus Sky Blue in just a moment, though. That is going to be match number 2. In our elimination bracket, though, SK Gaming will be very, very close to getting knocked out of GameStars. So they are going to fight the loser of our second match of the day. Whoever loses that match will get the boot out of GameStars, and their journey will end here in the elimination round. So that will be match number 3 of the day. I encourage you guys to stick around throughout all of it. For now, though, we will be getting into match number 2. We Are Still Alive in Sky Blue. We'll be starting in just a few minutes here. If you want to see Tribe Gaming EU play in the winners finals, make sure you come around in a little over an hour, and that is going to be when that match is played. So that is our schedule for the day. Most of our competitors have been nailed down for the remaining matches of the day. Let's get into match number 2, though. We're going to be starting off with set number 1, Sneaky Field. Set number 2 will be played on Layer Cake. Set number 3 on Nuts and Bolts. And of course, to break any ties, Hot Potato and Gem Source for set number 4 and 5. Very interesting. We still have not gotten to see Gem Source. It is typically taking that set number 5 role here in GameStars in the international group stage. I wonder when we will eventually get to see it. It does mean that we have to go to set number 5, though. It's not going to be a very speedy matchup. Perhaps we'll get to see it in a more even matchup. I did anticipate that we'd get to go on to set number 5 for Tribe versus SK, but not the case at all. Here are the bans as well. We do see that Stu ban and the Meg ban. Those brawlers are not going to be allowed in play today for either team. We do have a couple more bans, though. Each team gets 2 bans, and they're both blind bans. They don't know what the other team is banning when they submit their brawlers that they want to ban out. So without Stu, without Meg, it's not anything completely out of the ordinary. These are pretty standard bans. In our last match, actually, neither of these brawlers were banned, and we didn't see them even a little bit. So I think this is going to be kind of interesting because it is going to leave brawlers like Lola open unless she is banned out in our next round of bans. Yep, there's a Lola ban and there's a Sandy ban, actually. Interesting stuff. Yeah, we have seen Lola banned usually in pretty much every single match. She's the most frequent brawler to get banned by both teams, and thus sacrificing one of the brawlers that could be banned out from the match. Sandy, though, was one that had a large impact in our last match, and I completely understand why a team would ban that out. But from the bans alone, it's going to be pretty difficult to tell what the playstyle of these teams is going to be. Sandy is a good brawler. I think with Sandy out of the question, we should see some less thrower play from We Are Still Alive, considering that throwers do a pretty good job of countering out Sandy. Also with a Lola ban, this is nothing out of the ordinary. Also the Meg ban, once again, nothing out of the ordinary. They're not going to have to play around the possibility of facing against this powerful tank / sharpshooter / whatever you want to call her. With that said, though, I think this is going to be a spectacular match. We're just going to be getting into it momentarily. Should be starting any minute now. Now that we know the maps and we know the brawlers, we should be getting into map number 1, which is going to be Sneaky Fields. We can expect to see some tanks here. We can expect to see some tank counters also as a result, and then maybe some counters to the tank counters. It's interesting how the meta works like that, and we do have Science stopping by. Hello, Science. Good job on the trivia. Yeah, I do love those little segments between games. Yesterday, we got to see Teddy give us some tips on Byron, and maybe today I will be giving some tips on something. We'll just have to wait and see. It's going to run between all of the matches during the breaks, so maybe I'll be there to join you, not necessarily in person, but in pre-recorded video, and then I'll see you guys immediately afterwards. In terms of the Lola ban, though, I totally agree with it. Lola's kind of, I agree, Lola's pretty difficult to play. She's also very, very powerful, though, if used correctly. And I think just judging by the Meg and the Lola bans, that Sky is not really fond of the newest brawlers in the game. These are the 2 newest brawlers in the game, and I mean, I understand why you wouldn't want to play them, but I mean, also there's a great deal to be learned from these really new brawlers, and usually what this kind of, this ick around the new brawlers tells me is that a team is not very quick to adapt. Keep in mind that these teams qualified way before the international group stage in a much different meta, and the meta has just changed in an extremely significant way. It just received gears, and now in friendly games, you get to use 2 gears. I think the one that makes the game the most unreliable is the speed gear, where you're able to get additional speed while in bushes. And that, I think, is going to shock a lot of people and throw up a lot of people's game sense. And for the players who are not as quick to adapt, it is going to mean, thumbs down, protesto, and see you later, man. You're going to the Elimination Finals to face SK, which is pretty much a death sentence. I think I'm still pretty surprised that SK did get taken down by Tribe Gaming EU, but I think it's pretty clear to see why. We saw what Tribe Gaming EU was doing that worked. It's just going to be pretty difficult to see what SK Gaming was doing that didn't work, because they're not exactly known for running things that don't work and have glaring mistakes. They have a great coaching staff, and they have amazing players who are able to reflect upon their own mistakes and their own gameplay, and make self-corrections and also corrections at the advice of their coach. So I'm just as surprised as you guys, maybe a little bit less surprised than some of you guys. I'm not entirely sure, because I have seen like SK having a little bit of difficulty later, or rather not later, but earlier on in the competitive season. Though let's hope for their sake that they cruise through that elimination round and head on to the decider round, which will be played on December 18th, right before the international finals take place, as we're nailing down the final competitors in the international finals for that round of 16. Yeah, Lola is really, really, really good. I think she will probably get balanced. I think the gadget is really powerful, and one of the main reasons that she's such a good brawler. So we'll see exactly what can be done about that, about Lola and what she is introducing into the game in terms of this insane new brawler. I think every new brawler has consistently introduced like a really fresh mechanic into the game though. I mean, just to name a few, I mean, Meg, she summons a mech where she completely changes her attack style. It kind of does build on the whole surge concept, but Meg, she literally has a mech and she gets a different super that's more of like a second ability. I like Stu, because Stu, now his super, it only charges with one shot, which makes his super as more of a second ability rather than like an ultimate ability. And ultimate abilities being like really, really powerful has, for example, like Overwatch, completely different game, has made that game really, really tough to balance for the developers, having extremely powerful ultimates. So treating the super in Brawl Stars like a second ability is, I think, a really fresh change. Squeak also, I mean, not much to say, has a very, very unique attack. I mean, also Colonel Ruffs, you're able to permanently power up a teammate until they're until they go down, right? Sandy, also not a super new one, but it's not like one of the OG brawlers. You have a giant portable bush on demand, pretty much. One of the finals. The finals are going to take place a little bit later on in the season. It's going to be around December 20th. I would keep your eyes peeled on the GameStars calendar and make sure that you're subscribed and following all the GameStars socials so that you make sure you're in the know and don't fall out of the loop. Also, of course, if you want to go through my stuff, I have all this stuff on my personal calendar, my Ready Set calendar that has all the stuff that I cast. ReadySet.tv/calendar. I hope to see you guys there. Let's get into it, though. Let's get into match number 2, game number 1 here on Sneaky Fields. We are still live. We'll be bringing out the Rosa, Frank, and B. Going for a bit of a hybrid between the tank play. No way, the trick shot goes in from Naruto. Unbelievable. That is an absolute misplay from the side of We Are Still Alive. Sky Blue's looking fantastic after that play right there. Naruto with an amazing dodge of the super from Hayabusa, and Ryan will be able to super that one over to Abdel Bassett, and there is the goal. No way they finished it that fast. 38 seconds, and after a trick shot, no less. Naruto could have walked it in. Why did he have to trick shot it? What? Why? He didn't need to. He didn't need to at all, but he went for it, and I absolutely applaud him for that. Great gameplay, amazing stuff. This has pretty much told me that, okay, maybe Sky Blue, despite banning brawlers that are new to the game and showing maybe a bit of a lack of adaptability, they have still got the mechanics advantage on We Are Still Alive. Now, We Are Still Alive, I really like their comp, though. That's the thing. We look at B and we look at M. So those are the two tank counters, right? And on opposing sides, and they were the only differences between those two comps were the tank counters. And it did seem that from the side of We Are Still Alive that they just weren't able to employ it correctly. And Sky, they just had the mechanical advantage. We saw whiffed super from the side of We Are Still Alive, and Sky Blue managed to get a trick shot when they didn't even need to. That is kind of funny to me, but it's also a little bit concerning for me, especially if I'm the coach for We Are Still Alive, or if I'm just the players from We Are Still Alive in general, because, I mean, I don't think much more needs to be said in that regard. Let's see how they prepare for game number 2. We just finished up game number 1 of set number 1, and game number 2 is on the way. Sky Blue is up by 1 point here. Yeah, that is kind of shocking. You know, the speed gear has absolutely made this game so unpredictable, but it does introduce an interesting and fresh new mechanic into the game, and that I can appreciate at least. With that, though, we are just going to be waiting on our players to get ready for our next game. Game number 2 should be on the way. To expect a little bit more tank play and a little bit more tank counter play. I wonder what We Are Still Alive are going to be trying this time. It is going to be the M's gameplay this time. Hayabusa will be slowed down. Naruto is going to pick up an easy kill, directs attention right onto M's, and a bit of a waste of an M's gadget there, but nothing terrible for Scooby. Looking at the comps as well, it is a near mirror match We Are Still Alive did double down on the tank counters. We'll see if it does anything for them. Good use of the gadget there by Anger of AEK. Naruto pushes forward, though. Will he be able to get the kill? Hayabusa is going to try and get this. Does cycle the super through, but now he's left without a super, and Ryan has a slow. Scooby also has a gadget. Ryan wanted to go for the trick shot, but he just couldn't get it before he got booped away by Scooby. Anger of AEK now pushes through on the right side. Has that super ready to go. Abdel Bassett does not. So this could be an advantage for We're Still Alive. Anger of AEK will also be able to move forward here. He has a super, and he's going to get to super it into the goal. Great stuff for We Are Still Alive. And goal number 1 goes to their side. Sky Blue was looking good in game number 1, and now We Are Still Alive has started off with their own goal. Let's see, though. Hayabusa does go down. Naruto's going to have to avoid a lot of damage. Scooby is going to take a lot of damage, and Abdel Bassett is able to put this one in the goal just as quickly as he got scored on. Sky Blue retaliates with their own score back. We Are Still Alive have the super ready to go, though. On the left side, Anger of AEK is not going to be able to hit it. On the right side, though, Naruto deals so much damage. Ryan has a super. He's going to go for the trick shot. It's not going to happen. Scooby wants to toss it away, but the reload speed of Ems is too slow, and Ryan will get that goal. That is going to be Sky Blue taking set number 1 very, very quickly. Not as quick as game number 1, but game number 2 did go by pretty fast. Game number 1 was just 38 seconds, and game number 2, we did get to see a little bit more gameplay, but one thing has remained constant between those 2 games, and that is that We Are Still Alive does seem to have some good comp choices, but Sky Blue has a mechanical advantage. Here's a trick shot once again. Oh my gosh, dude. Unbelievable. There was actually a chance that Naruto couldn't have made it in. Let's see, though, the goal by Abdel Bassett there. Ryan with a great super pass over to his teammate does show that they had great synergy and were able to pass it to each other pretty effectively. That was a good super, by the way, by Anger of AEK with the super, but he was down a super following that. Ryan was able to get the goal in right at the end to finish off that game. Here is a stat comparison to Sky Blue. More damage, more kills. That's what it's all about, baby. We Are Still Alive. It did a pretty good job, but they're just lacking in those respects. I think this is really a mechanic stiff. I think this is absolutely just a mechanic stiff, and nothing really more to add to that. So Sky Blue, if they spice up the comps a little bit, then they will be taking a very, very easy wins, provided, of course, that people don't think they are already doing that. They've made this game look very, very easy versus We Are Still Alive. And We Are Still Alive, if they keep on heading down this path, they already got 2-0'd in set number 1. They're going to have to face against SK, and that is a little bit terrifying. But, I mean, at least you can say that you get to face up against Jet and Semantic and Skyrix. Let's get into set number 2, though. Layer Cake is going to be set number 2. Get to see some throws here, get to see some long-range brawlers, but on some occasions, you get to see the tank comps, and this is where I think actually We Are Still Alive can really succeed. I think, honestly, the comp choices have been really good from We Are Still Alive. So, if they bring out the Max, they bring out the Buzz, they bring out like the Frank or something, then they can really, really take out Sky if Sky picks like some sort of thrower control comp that doesn't have good close range defense or damage. So, this is possibly, if my predictions on We Are Still Alive are correct, if We Are Still Alive really does have the better comp choices but is just lacking on the front end mechanics, then this could absolutely be their set, right? But we're not like certain of that just yet. We've only seen 2 games. We've only seen 1 set to kind of make that judgment by. So this is going to be the real test of whether We Are Still Alive does really have a chance in this matchup, or whether Sky Blue is going to go ahead and take this one home and pull the rug right out from under We Are Still Alive, send them right down to the pits into the elimination round to face SK Gaming, which is almost an insurmountable foe. So as we wait for our upcoming set, actually, no waiting. Let's get right into it. Players are chomping at the bit. We Are Still Alive is looking to show off their stuff. They are going to be taken down pretty quickly here right off the beginning. Hayabusa is trying to get that first super out. It is going to be a challenge. Big pull there for Abdel Bassett. Already a couple of kills by Sky Blue, and they're holding on to the blue star as well. Nothing so far for We Are Still Alive. Abdel Bassett's going to go for a big flank, and it's going to pay off. And a nice use of the gadget there by Abdel Bassett to get rid of the tick super and not have it damage any of his teammates. Anger of AEK does have the supply drop ready to go. Who's going to pick it up? It is going to be Hayabusa. to pick it up. He also has the pole ready, which is going to be nice if he is able to make contact with an enemy using that super. So far, though, We Are Still Alive is still hanging back pretty far. Anger of AEK wants Sky Blue to push in a little bit too far and then look for a pull off of that, but it's just not going to work. Sky Blue knows exactly what's going to happen, but now they're going to push in. Ryan's going to make the first attack of the charge, and he's going to get immediately punished, but not taken down, at least not quite yet. Still lurking around the right side. He's looking for that next super. Meanwhile, Scooby is hanging on to his own super. He's being pretty reluctant about using it. We're Still Alive really want Sky Blue to push in here so that they can get a kill off of it. Let's see if it works. Ryan's still pushing, and Sky Blue is pretty much staying in the exact same place, and We Are Still Alive is not really pushing anywhere. They absolutely could push forward, but they just don't want to risk it, and that might actually really hurt them. A big pull, but it's going to hit a sandbag, unfortunately. Naruto now destroys a wall on the left side with that supply drop, and Sky Blue has the speed to back up if they need to, and it looks like they'll be able to pull this off perfectly. They can even lose Ryan, which they just did. They can lose Naruto too, and still not take the L. It is going to be a W for Sky Blue as they pick up yet another kill. Scooby will almost go down, and that is going to be the third win in a row for Sky Blue. Yeah, this was pretty much domination through and through for Sky Blue. There was no chance for We Are Still Alive in this situation, given the strategy that they were using. So I think the strategy was just fine. They did face a little bit of wall break, which did make it more difficult for them to play Tick, which was a major part of their strategy, and is a pretty typical part of the layer cake strategy. I think the Colonel Ruffs was a good pick from both sides. From the side of We Are Still Alive, it was a little bit contradictory, right? You're breaking open walls, and Tick really needs those walls and really needs those bushes to do its job and even just stay alive to be able to be in safety while attacking. That's the entire idea of being a thrower, is that you're able to toss over the walls that are protecting you. But We Are Still Alive, I think the real thing that worked to their disadvantage that last game is that they were constantly being bombarded from damage from like Gene, but it's just little chip damage. Same with the damage from Max, right? It's just a little bitty chip damage. All those brawlers had their supers anyway. They could have pushed forward, tried to bait the super out of Gene, but the thing is, staying right where they were wasn't really doing anything. It wasn't winning them the match. It wasn't even losing them the match either. And that, more than anything, is you know, I don't know. It's not playing for success, right? It's not even risking it. So I think We Are Still Alive could absolutely afford to play a little bit more aggressive here. With that said, I think that this one is once again a set for Sky Blue, and they might as well take us all the way through set number 3 without a single win from the opposing side. This is a consistent theme that we've seen throughout GameStars. We saw it yesterday, not a single game won by the opposing side. It was all sweeps, and Anger of AEK will go down pretty early here. This is great from Sky Blue to start disrupting We Are Still Alive. Hayabusa is going to be switching things up in a major way, though. He does have the pick advantage. In fact, this is a total advantage for We Are Still Alive in the early game. They just have to play as a team. We are going to see Anger of AEK and Hayabusa play together on the left side. Scooby looks to get around the right side and charge some super off of Naruto, but Sky Blue, they know the tricks of Eyes Sharp, of that extended range on Buzz, the star power. Ooh, and Hayabusa almost got a big play there. He just wasn't able to get his super charged up, and as a result wasn't able to make a play there, but Scooby is still charging up his super. There is the stun, but no way, Abdel Bassett is still alive. Naruto got great damage there, and amazing support for his teammate, but Hayabusa as Mortis is just going to be so good against the throwers, and he starts the charge. It's going to be the first kill, but We Are Still Alive, and it could be the beginning of a comeback. Let's see, once again, Hayabusa takes down B, and the jump into the corner. Naruto is able to get the kill. Hayabusa is going to try and get away with this one. Anger of AEK tries to heal him up a little bit. Hayabusa decides that he's going to go for the play, and he does get some stars off of it, but gets taken down in the process. This is so much better than what things looked like earlier, though, where We Are Still Alive. Hayabusa is absolutely able to make this happen with the Mortis pick, and Sky Blue is looking so juicy right now, especially Piper. And this is going to be the most vulnerable brawler for Hayabusa to target. Naruto does have that super ready to go, But if Scooby's able to get in here, then Hayabusa could take advantage and pick up the scraps. But Hayabusa is going to get doubled down on by Naruto and Abdel Bassett. Same goes for Scooby. Anger of AEK tries to do something right at the end. There's a super away, and that one's all over. It is Sky Blue taking game number 2, and as a result, set number 2. Amazing gameplay there by Sky Blue. Very, very swiftly blazed through We Are Still Alive, and really that felt fast for Bounty, which is quite an accomplishment considering that the games are always going to go 2 minutes, no longer and no less. So with that out of the way, we're going to be heading on to set number 3. Of course, going to get some highlights first and see what Sky Blue did right and what We Are Still Alive could work on for the next set. We did see contradictory comp here. Scooby did push forward at the end. Of all brawlers to push forward, that is probably the brawler that you don't want to push forward with is Tick. But, I mean, We Are Still Alive absolutely understood the assignment in game number 2. They brought out the Mort, they brought out the Poco, and they brought out the Buzz. And Hayabusa almost made it out of this one alive had it not been for Naruto. He absolutely would have been the star of the show, total star player, but in the end, here are the stats. Sky Blue 18 kills, and We Are Still Alive only 6, and I'm pretty sure all of those were done just by Mort. Did such an amazing job. Look at the stars as well, right? Pretty close to getting half of what Sky Blue had, but not even close to half of what Sky Blue had in terms of kills. As far as damage, though, it absolutely goes to Sky Blue. Amazing, consistent damage, consistent kills throughout the set. And it is looking like it is going to be a clean sweep in favor of Sky Blue. Of course, set number 3 could bring some new challenges, could bring some new brawler possibilities. Wonder if it will be conducive to the Mortis play. Set number 3 is going to be on nuts and bolts, and there will be lots of nuts and bolts for Mortis to collect, should that be the brawler of choice. Of course, Sky Blue, given that they understood the assignment in set number 1 and set number 2, could be bringing it out themselves. They have that Buzz available, and they have the Mortis available. Now, we haven't seen them play it just yet, and judging by the bans that they submitted right before the first game of the match, we can kind of deduce that they are not super adventurous in terms of brawlers that could be brought to the fight. We saw it also on Layer Cake, nothing really unorthodox. Same deal on Sneaky Fields, nothing unorthodox, but very well executed. And I think Sky Blue, they're just able to run something that works well in pretty much every scenario and just do it well. And they did switch up the comp a little bit for game number 2 of set number 2, but still it was something pretty classic, not as adventurous as what We Are Still Alive was running there with the Poco, the Buzz, and the Mort. So we'll see what they bring in set number 3. This is a Buzz and Mort map. We'll have to see what kind of healer or sort of third brawler they use. Sandy is banned out, which would be a frustrating one to deal with. So in the absence of Sandy, though, oh boy, okay, this is very adventurous by We Are Still Alive. They probably expected to go against a Barley here, and now they're going for the Dyna to counter. But they are going to have to face up against a Mort, and that could be their downfall. Let's see what Scooby's able to do. No way. Anger of AEK and Scooby are able to team up and get the kill, though Abdel Bassett is able to get that Irresistible Attraction up, and here's the stun by Ryan. The mid control goes to Sky Blue, and so does that first bot. It was so close to a tie there by We Are Still Alive, and yeah, I would definitely be angry too. Anger of AEK looks like he is going to have to use the pull for this one. No way, a huge stun by Ryan, and this is actually probably going to be the one push from Sky Blue. There's almost no way of coming back from it, and there you have it, folks. A one push on the very first push of the game. Amazing show-stopping gameplay from Sky Blue. We Are Still Alive very nearly had it. They almost got that pull off on Gene, but Sky Blue, they showed that they're able to make it happen with the Buzz and the Mortis. And I think I called it earlier. I mean, they had the Buzz, they had the Mortis, they had something to accent it. And man, I mean, after playing so well with the True Gold Frank in set number 1, I honestly don't know why I didn't see it coming. Such an amazing job done by them. We Are Still Alive. They still have a little bit of time to try and bring this back so it's not a total sweep, but they do need to get 2 game wins in a row here on Siege. in order to bring it back and send us on to set number 4. If they send us on to set number 5, we'll finally get to see some gem source, which we have never seen competitive, at least not in the official map pool before, so that would be a nice adventure to embark on. But with that said, pretty soon here we'll be moving into game number 2 and possibly wrapping things up. It is the match point for Sky Blue. If they win this, they're heading on to face Tribe Gaming EU in the winner's bracket, and they'll be sending We Are Still Alive into the pits to face against SK. We Are Still Alive. They are going to be almost stealing the comp from Sky Blue. Sky Blue, though, they know exactly what was coming, brought a tank counter, and I think the Gale pick is really interesting. It is going to be good for defense, but as far as the mid fight, it looks like they're just going to use it to bully people here. Anger of AEK is not really having this, though. He's not going to push forward. Naruto also has that super ready to go. He's going to use it to not only push back Anger of AEK, but get a little bit of damage. Man, sometimes I cannot get the words out of my mouth. A little bit of damage onto that Ike as well. CHBot level 2 gonna try and do some work on that Ike. Hayabusa does make a good attempt at defending it, but 52% remain. 48% has been done already. And Sky Blue is going for the spawn camp strat, and We Are Still Alive. This is awful for them as they are getting countered out on the right lane and on the left lane. Anger of AEK is going to have to push in versus Naruto, and as soon as he gets close, yep, here comes Abdel Bassett to start pushing him away, and Abdel Bassett does narrowly pick up the kill. It was not very close, though. Scooby is going to go for a kill over here on the right side. Does almost pick it up, going to take a lot of damage, won't make it out alive. Anger of AEK still throwing up that angry pin, and he is stunned. Rather, Hayabusa is stunned out of that super. We Are Still Alive. Doesn't seem like they will be alive for much longer. Sky Blue is looking to finish this out with the push on the second siege of the game, and they will do it. Sky Blue is headed on to face Tribe Gaming EU. Congratulations to Sky Blue. Amazing show-stopping performance, taken down We Are Still Alive. I was doubtful at first, but now I've completely been proven wrong. These guys, while they're not super innovators, man, do they play well. They have amazing mechanics, and they completely shut down We Are Still Alive in the final set. Let's get some highlights as well. We did see at one point Sky Blue got a double stun with Buzz's super to shut down the possible gene pull. This was the one push on game number 1, and from that point forward, there was pretty much no way that We Are Still Alive could come back from it, though they did make a good attempt in game number 2. We did see Hayabusa getting that solo defense on the Ike, but Abdel Bassett and Naruto just had too much damage output towards the end. Of course, mostly talking about Barley dealing lots of damage to that Ike, and here's the damage and stat comparison as well. Sky Blue, they're safe, completely untouched, and they dealt 3 times, a little bit more than 3 times, in fact, of the damage that We Are Still Alive was able to do as far as brawlers, and then from the kills front, almost 4 times the amount, rather no, almost 6 times the amount of kills of We Are Still, just over 5 times the kills, and really, it's so clear that the momentum had continued to accumulate from the side of Sky Blue to the point where We Are Still Alive simply could not bring it back. So with that, yeah, here's the stat comparison of the entire match overall, and it's just not even close. The best brawlers from the side of We Are Still Alive, honestly, not bad brawlers, but Sky Blue, these are the same brawlers that they used in set number 1. I think set number 1 is where they got the majority of the damage. So it's very, very unfortunate, the circumstance that We Are Still Alive found themselves in. They will have the chance to fight their way out of this one, though, and head on to the international finals. Here's catch. They're going to have to go through SK Gaming in the elimination round, which is going to be coming up for match number 3 of the day. But with that said, congratulations to Sky. Congratulations to We Are Still Alive. Unfortunate that they did get knocked down to the elimination round, but they do have another chance. It's just going to have to be versus SK Gaming in the elimination round coming up for match number 3. But first, we're going to have a short break. I'll see you guys after the break.
Brawlers! This showdown will make history! Best teams from Russia, Ukraine, Poland, France and Turkey, winners of the Open qualifiers and top 8 invited teams will meet in a final battle for the champion title and a bounty of $10,000. Join the stream on December the 7th. Don't miss out on the epic international group stage of GameStars Brawl Stars Season 2.
Welcome back, everyone, to GameStars Season 2 Group C. I'm still ready, set, and this is still match number 3 of the day. We are in the elimination round. It's going to be SK versus We Are Still Alive. And yeah, We Are Still Alive is still alive, but that could end very shortly. They're going to have to face up against a extremely stacked roster of SK Gaming. We had the bracket updated as well, so you can see how the day has been progressing along. We'll get to that one in just a moment, but for now, let's discuss the matchup. This is going to be really, really tough for We Are Still Alive, and for SK, this is probably just going to be a little bit of target practice for them, but hey, change my mind. It is extremely critical what I just said, but I love it being proven wrong. And here we have the bracket so far. You can see SK Gaming and We Are Still Alive both took 3-0 losses in the first couple matches of the day, and that has sent them down into the pit in the elimination round. Of course, there is a way to climb their way out. If SK Gaming or We Are Still Alive wins the third match of the day, they'll head on to the decider round. The loser of the winner's match, which is going to be Tribe Gaming EU versus Sky Blue, will be moving down to the decider match as well. The winner goes on to the international finals, which is a round of 16, and they win $400 just for making it there. Let's see the schedule for the day. Of course, we are already through with the first 2 matches of the day, and match number 3 is on the horizon. Yep, about 7 minutes before the scheduled match start, but we have been moving along really, really quickly today, so maybe it'll even take place before that one. Typically, it doesn't happen with all 3 zeros, but for yesterday and for today, we've seen only 3 zeros and only 6 0 sweeps. It's kind of crazy that we've seen this stuff so far, because it's not usually this clear cut. And I don't even think it was that clear cut with SK Gaming versus Tribe Gaming EU. I think they are very well matched teams, and maybe even SK Gaming like a slightly better roster than Tribe Gaming EU. And of course, not really anyone's gonna disagree with me on that one. Probably not even Tribe Gaming EU themselves. But I think that dynamic is pretty quickly changing. I think Tribe Gaming EU is getting better, even after that upset at Worlds, and SK Gaming is really trying to maintain their position after the upset at Worlds. Both of these got upset in the first round at Worlds, and we'll see how they both respectively react to it. We get to see SK's side first. Going to be starting off on set number 1 of Backyard Bowl. SK had to play Pinball Dreams to start things off last time. Another very long-range Brawl Ball map, and yeah, this is not being super friendly to them. They did put up a good fight versus Tribe Gaming EU, but they did use some shorter range brawlers. Let's see if that changes up in Backyard Bowl. You don't have those closed off side lanes like you do on Pinball Dreams, and I think this is going to allow, I think particularly Semantic, to play one of his favorite brawlers, Piper, a little bit more frequently. Another thing that was banned out last time by SK Gaming was it got rid of the Leon. We'll see if they're worried about it this time. Yep, there is the Leon ban by SK Gaming. I feel very, very nice about that one, and the Lola ban from We Are Still Alive. So once again, Leon ban. I mean, Leon would have been a pretty good pick on some of those maps that SK played versus Tribe, but mostly like set number 4 of Bot Drop, and we didn't make it over to Bot Drop. So I don't know. I think SK usually does play the long game. They did expect a much closer match than they had versus Tribe Gaming EU. But for We Are Still Alive, not the case at all. Sprout ban for SK and the Meg ban for We Are Still Alive. For We Are Still Alive, this just feels like, you know, they're banning out good brawlers that they don't want to play against. And for SK, they're banning particular brawlers because they have so much confidence that We Are Still Alive are going to pick as their bans brawlers that are strong that SK would otherwise be forced to pick, and B, right, the brawlers that they don't choose to ban out, SK will be able to play them better. So from SK, you see the Leon ban, you see the Sprout ban. These are very, not necessarily targeted at We Are Still Alive, but they're targeted at things that SK doesn't like, and this just shows the level of confidence that SK has in this matchup. They're not even getting rid of Poco or Byron or any of that, which I think to me says that they are going to try and play those brawlers, because typically you would not or rather, you would not want to play those brawlers. You wouldn't want to play against them either. You would choose those as your bans because it makes the game more consistent. It makes the game a little bit more reliable to not play against healers, because if you don't play against healers, then you're not playing against tanks, and you don't got to bring tank counters. And I think SK Gaming, they're either going to bring tanks or they're going to just bring long-range comps, especially on Backyard Bull. I think they can outplay We Are Still Alive. We're going to have to see what We Are Still Alive does to counter them here. They did a pretty good job of playing Mortis last time, and I think with the expectation that SK Gaming is going to be bringing some kind of long-range brawler here, that We Are Still Alive can really rely on that long-range brawler to counter them out. Especially Piper gets countered super, super hard by Mortis. Another one is Bell that gets countered really hard. I think a good choice for We Are Still Alive, honestly, could be Squeak, because, or rather not Squeak. Usually Squeak is what you play when you don't want to deal with the Leon, and SK Gaming, they banned out the Leon. So Leon's Lollipop is not really a concern here. So SK, they've evened out the long-range brawler matchup. They're pretty much trying to allow themselves that possibility. So We Are Still Alive could really, really double down on that aspect and go for some tankier comps, maybe even something max oriented. Though it wouldn't shock me if SK Gaming does that themselves. They did it on Pinball Dreams. They went for the Gene Max Sandy, and that's a very classic comp that hasn't been meta for really that long. Or rather it has been meta for a long time. Hasn't been meta for a while, as well as has been nerfed repeatedly, and it's like this golden trio. The brawlers had to get nerfed independently. The brawlers are still fine on their own. Together they're like kind of now, because they're really outranged is the problem. We'll see if they also bring out the Pam. Yeah, Stu, Byron would also be good picks here. That is a really interesting choice of brawlers, and I would love to see it, actually. I think Stu could be pretty strong here. Here's the deal, though, is that if We Are Still Alive and brings a brawler like Spike, then it could be challenging for SK Gaming to play against that. Given that SK Gaming is really a premier roster, though, they could absolutely just get rid of all the life plants and then not have to worry about the Spike anymore. I think another thing that We Are Still Alive needs to be worried about is if they choose to try and bring any tanks, like a Poco sort of double tank strategy, that SK Gaming, there's a very high likelihood that they'll bring out a Spike, and then it's just going to be all over from there. So I think these are some possibilities from SK Gaming. As far as what We Are Still Alive are going to pick here, they're going to have to rely on something that SK is not expecting, and hopefully they counter comp SK. Let's see, though. We're going to be getting into game number 1, and SK will be picking the double tanks in the B to counter the tanks from the enemy team, and it is going to prove to be a good strategy. And yep, We Are Still Alive was taking notes. They did bring out the Mortis, but it just wasn't on the right target. Semantic was able to take all of that damage without breaking even a sweat. Skyrix is going to be the ideal target, but Skyrix already has a lot of damage. There is the stun by Jetten, and High Boost is going to try what he can. Almost got a big combo there, but Skyrix is able to finish it off in a 29-second game from SK to start us off. Such a fast game there by SK, and that is the fastest Brawl Ball game that we have seen in all of GameStars so far. It does go to show that SK and Tribe are very, very well matched, and SK almost wasn't supposed to be headed down to this elimination round. It seems like SK versus Tribe is more of a winners finals matchup rather than a quarterfinals matchup. But I mean, with that aside, great job by SK, just doing what they do. And We Are Still Alive, you can see the effort was there, but the execution was not. They needed some more tank counters, but they brought out the long range counters. And I think this is also pretty smart by SK. They have that, I think they have that respect for We Are Still Alive, at least to realize that We Are Still Alive is going to see the Leon ban and think, okay, well, they're obviously going to go for long-range brawlers. And then SK fakes them out with the ban and doesn't go long-range brawlers at all. right? So they have managed to allow themselves to play sharpshooters while also not locking themselves into playing sharpshooters, and that gives them this flexibility to be able to play mental games with We Are Still Live. And We Are Still Live pretty much fell right into it. It was still a gamble by SK Gaming to go for the tank comp, but the likelihood that We Are Still Alive would be bringing a full tank counter comp to deal with this, which is the only way that SK Gaming could have dealt with it, is, yeah, pretty unlikely. Let's see what they do this time. There is the healer and tank counter, and SK once again fakes them out. We Are Still Alive thought that SK would stick with it, but they absolutely didn't. Here is the stew, and there's a Griff as well to deal with any stray tank. Skyrix going to do a great job of getting that long range kill with the Killer B. Here's Jetton also breaking open the wall. Griff is a great wall breaker just to get those free wall breaks in and also deal with tanks. Great kill there by Semantic, and once again an easy goal for SK. We're Still Alive though, showing better signs of life this time. Let's see how Scooby does in the long range matchup. One little shot onto Semantic, and big damage dealt by Jetton. Jetton is going to fall in the process though. Skyrix and Semantic are going to be playing pretty cautiously. They're looking to finish this one out quickly. Great dodges there by Semantic, and Anger of AEK is barely going to get any damage off on Stu. It's not the ideal matchup. Really, the only brawler that he could be going for here is Skyrix, and Skyrix was hanging onto that Killer B for so long that really there was not a single good target for Anger of AEK. Let's see how Hayabusa, though, handles his matchup. He has his super ready to go. Skyrix doesn't have a Killer B. Hayabusa could go for the kill, but that would leave Mortis all alone to deal with Semantic, but Semantic's just going to do it the hard way, and Skyrix takes advantage of the open goal. We Are Still Alive converges around it, but no Seagar. They were not able to defend it. Great job there by SK to get a very quick and nasty goal. That is going to be set number one, flying by in just a matter of 3 minutes. And often Backyard Bowl goes like a single game will go to 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and then we get a tie. So this is pretty remarkable to see SK finish it out this quickly. We Are Still Alive, obviously the momentum is working against them, and also they are kind of falling for SK's tricks, and SK is kind of playing with their food here. They do want to get through this one pretty quickly and just move on to the decider match. Let's see how the replays looked though. This was a good attempt at a defense from Hayabusa, but Skyrix disposed of him, and Semantic was able to get the goal very quickly. And once again, Skyrix, very fast goal, 29-second game. Amazing stuff. And here was Skyrix just putting that one easily, tossed to Semantic, and boom, the ankle breaker. Oh my gosh, it's like in soccer, just kicking the ball right between someone's legs. Such a matter of disrespect, and wow, the stats, I think, more than anything, are disrespecting We Are Still Alive here. Decent damage, but no goals, and only one kill throughout that entire matchup. Amazing plays there by SK, but this is just not even close. 14-1. We Are Still Alive. If they manage to get one goal off of SK, then they can chalk that up to an accomplishment, I believe. Winning against like SK on ladder just like once, right? Winning against that roster feels like a colossal achievement, and having to play against them so many times is gonna feel like a total marathon, I believe, for We Are Still Alive. Let's see how they do on bot drop though. This is gonna be one of those where that Leon ban comes into play. It's going to be hard for We Are Still Alive to execute the long range tank comp, so I don't think that's really going to happen. SK also, they're pretty good at the PAM, so I think they could bring out the PAM in this situation. Semantic would love to run that one. As for the side lanes, obviously not going to have any Sprout here. But there are other options to defend those side lanes. I'm not sure exactly what SK could go for besides the classic stuff. We're talking about the Piper, we're talking about the Bell more than anything. How will We Are Still Alive respond though? Because it seems like most times We Are Still Alive is responding to what SK is putting down, and We Are Still Alive is going to be the one going for the PAM. They're going to be bringing out the Crow for the counter as well, but there's no healer from the side of SK. We'll see how this works out. Semantic will take some damage. Scooby looks for something. Big taps from the entire roster of SK, and We Are Still Alive managed to pick up one bolt. So did SK, and a latent bolt flying towards SK's safe will not get them that first bot, so it's going to have to rely on the second bot. SK doesn't have necessarily a one push comp too. They are going to be playing for control here, so We Are Still Alive. We'll see what they muster. in response with their own comp. Hayabusa is on very low health. He's going to try and check these bushes, if you will, the sandstorm. There's no one in there, though. Skyrix is going to be migrating towards the center, and Semantic does a sneaky little hop over to the left side to defend these bolts at long range. Scooby does look for something, he gets stunned, and there's the double tap from Semantic. He is staying alive, though. Homemade Recipe not finding its mark on Scooby, rather on AEK. Semantic finishes him off. Semantic popping off. Hayabusa looking for the dodges, trying to move forward, and Hayabusa is going to be able to jump in here and try and get a kill. Skyrix stays alive, though, and there is a level 16 from SK. Almost no way for We Are Still Alive to defend this unless Pam is able to stay alive, and it looks like she is going to try. Jetten also looking for some damage to spin from Hayabusa. I think he knows that this one is almost over. Skyrix might go for a little bit more damage on that Ike. He does, in fact. 20% remains, and this is looking pretty grim. It's going to be difficult for We Are Still Alive to get enough damage on the enemy Ike for this one to be viable. Let's see how SK does, though. There's a jump back from Semantic, still collecting more bolts. They are in the lead in the bolt count. Skyrix goes down at the hands of AEK, though, and Semantic will try and jump away, but it's just going to be a little bit too late. But I think even We Are Still Alive got to mid a little bit too late. A few seconds remain, and despite picking up a bunch of bolts, it's not going to be enough time to get this last bot in their favor, or even a tie. And that super from Spike is going to try and end the game a little bit faster, but it's not going to work out. We'll see if that bot is one who gets the last laugh on the Ike, and it does appear to be the situation. That is going to be SK taking their third win in a row, and We Are Still Alive taking their third loss in a row as a consequence. Good classic play there from SK, playing a long game, playing for control, doing what they do best, which is just playing for control and keeping everything right under their thumb. So with that, nothing out of the ordinary really for this matchup. Once again, still crossing our fingers that We're Still Alive are able to get one win off of SK, because that is going to be really, I think, their crowning achievement is to get one win off of these guys. SK is just such an amazing roster, and seeing how We're Still Alive, performed against Sky Blue, I think really the most they're going to be able to muster is a single win. But hey, I mean, miracles do happen, and I love being proven wrong. So We Are Still Alive, please do that. I'm cheering for you guys, but I'm also sometimes a realist, and I mean, from a realist perspective, SK Gaming has this one, and they're heading to the decider, and they'll probably end up facing Sky Blue, because I think Sky Blue is also facing a very tough matchup versus Tribe Gaming EU. Let's see it, though. SK leading by one game in this set, and We Are Still Alive is going to be switching things up a lot. They're going for some bush break on the right side. Interesting, a teleport there by Skyrix. I don't think that was exactly what he was going for. Semantic with the angry pin. Yeah, I think Scooby triggered the spring trap, and that was a teleport by Skyrix to get the easy kill. He did not expect to go onto the jump pad. It's going to be a funny highlight later on, and We Are Still Alive are definitely laughing as they are getting that first bot of the game. Semantic and Jetten will do a good job of defending it, though. Semantic is going to try and get a lot of damage on this bot, and that he will do and succeed in doing so. But Scooby does get some damage on that Ike as well. He's pushed up pretty high, though. We'll see if Semantic, nope, Semantic is going to switch around to the right lane and then circle back to mid. Skyrix still wants this close range matchup versus Scooby, but he is so outranged. He doesn't have any bushes to sneak up. This is not looking good for him. We Are Still Alive are doing a good job, actually, of keeping these guys back in spawn, but SK, they do play very deliberately, if you will. They're not in any rush. They just want a few bolts here. They need to get the good defense, and then they're able to bring it back to mid. Though, that considered, Bot Drop is a exceedingly difficult map to get the retake on. Let's see how Semantic and Skyrix handle it. Lots of damage already. There's a super from Jetten. Scooby, they're not going to allow him to get that free super this time. Anger of AEK also is operating at a long-range battle. He is not going to take any damage either. He's just going to try and defend this lane from Jetten for as long as he can. Hayabusa looks for something here. Semantic tries to go for the gadget. Hayabusa does have one shot left, and SK are able to take the left lane now. And from there, they will work their way into mid. They will be getting this final bot. Keep in mind, We Are Still Alive got the first two bots and only 13% off of it. They got to defend 13% or less from hitting their safe. We'll see what they're able to muster. SK will be coming at them with a fast, tanky purple boy. We love the level 10 Siege bot as they narrowly get that level 10 mark with the last bolt. Scooby taking a lot of damage. Skyrix has that level 4 too, so he's going to be getting lots and lots of damage on the Ike once he contacts it, and it's all over. That is going to be SK bringing back the final Siege and taking set number 2 in a total sweep, sending us into set number 3. Once again, basically what we expected from SK. Great plays, great solid stuff. Even when it was looking a little bit grim for them, they still brought it back just by playing like they do. Control, slowly pushing up, very deliberate, very calculated. We can also take a look back at the highlights to review that gameplay style. Game number 1 was absolutely just a shutdown of We Are Still Alive. Game number 2, a little bit less so. We did see at least a couple of misplays there by SK early on in the game, which allowed We Are Still Alive to take the first couple bots, but SK brought it back nonetheless. Here we do see Jedden and Skyrix doing a good job of staying aggressive. Semantic also picking up the kills left, right, and center. Now we move into game number 2, and this was not looking as great for SK, but it wasn't looking too good for We Are Still Alive either. They got the first couple of bots and only 13% off of it, and this was a retake by SK starting from the left lane, then going over to the right to get rid of Anger of AEK, and that resulted in a win for them in the end. Here's a stat comparison too, and pretty close damage on each other's Ikes. On player damage, SK still exceeding in that regard. Here are the kills though, and this is where we really start to draw the analyses. We Are Still Alive, they were spawn camping SK for a good amount of time and getting a bunch of damage off of it, but they just weren't getting the kills, and the kills are really what are the most valuable. And we saw it yesterday, how the kills are really what matters, and SK once again will be showing us at that point. They get twice the amount of kills with just a little bit more damage. Really a negligible difference there. It's all about where that damage goes. Is it going on a target that already has a bunch of health? Is it going on a target that's on your lane? Are you helping out your teammates? Are you getting an elimination? Let's see set number 3. It's going to be Gym for it. We did see SK bring out the Pam. They brought out the Sandy, and they brought out the Rico on this map previously. We'll see if they do it once again. Of course, Gym for it is one of those maps that is pretty conducive towards the Pam. Also, though, towards the double pull. So I wonder if we'll see some Tara and some Jean here. I do encourage you guys to talk about your predictions in the chat. Would love to see you guys talking in the chat. We do see actually some people talking in the chat, which is very, very refreshing. Much better than yesterday, I must say. Yeah, but We Are Still Alive. I'm hopeful for them. I would love to see at least one win, but on Gym Grab, it's all about control, and that is where SK succeeds. And they did a good job of keeping control towards the back lines of mid when they faced up against Tribe Gaming EU, but Tribe Gaming EU just made the pushes, got really aggressive at the right time. Skyrix will be playing the counter versus Hayabusa, and this is a great matchup for him. It's not going to be too great for him versus Scooby, and Scooby's going to try and go over on the left lane. Semantic and Jet and dismantle him, though. Now we see the right lane in Anger of AEK will be taken down by the super from Jetton. Not the most amazing value on the super from Jetton, but he doesn't really even need to worry because I don't think he's really concerned about getting diffed on any of these matchups. Already going to be getting the range advantage on Anger of AEK. Hayabusa also will be trying to get aggressive on this lane, but it's not going to happen. Semantic now is faced up against Anger of AEK at mid. Skyrix gets the kill on the left lane, and he's so fast. Anger of AEK also wants to be able to gradually make his way up the left side. Hayabusa with the spin. Scooby's taking a bunch of damage too. We Are Still Alive. I think they knew from the beginning that they had a pretty much impossible matchup, but now I think it is really being realized. There's the kill from Jetton on a Hayabusa. Great push up the left side from We Are Still Alive. We see they are running the double pull, but they have yet to get the pulls. Here's Scooby with the pull, but oh no, I think he auto-ing the pull, and that is going to go right on the turret and get no value for him at all. No value for Hayabusa either. Anyway, Anger of AK wants a pull or something, but it's just not going to come. He's not going to be able to get the damage for it. We Are Still Alive will be going down again. Once more, the double pull that doesn't work if you're not able to get a pull to begin with, and SK Gaming, they were acutely aware of this, and they just refused to give a pull to these guys, and they did it very, very well. Match point for SK Gaming, and once again, this is our third clean sweep of the day, I think. I mean, If we are still alive, we're able to take a single game off of SK Gaming, it would be a great achievement. But I don't think it's going to happen. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I would love to see it happen. But SK, they worked so hard to get here just to have a rough matchup versus Tribe Gaming EU, and I do want to see them in the deciders, even if they have to wait till December 18th to play their match and earn their way towards the international finals. They are going to have to go through either Tribe Gaming EU or Blue Sky in order to get there, but we'll get there when we get there. Right? December 18th, that is a date you don't want to miss, where some tears will be shed and some victory cries will be uttered. Let's get it. SK Gaming, once again, with the same comp. We are still live, though. We'll be coming in with a max comp. It's not really a max comp that we're used to. Ooh, Skyrix will get brought in. Hayabusa gets stunned mid-attack, and Skyrix will stay alive. Hayabusa, though, chases him down. Won't be able to get the wall clip, though. Almost saw a pinch there by Scooby. This is great so far by We Are Still Alive. But it's all going to come down to when Skyrix throws down that first Sandstorm and what kind of value he gets off of it. We Are Still Alive overextended quite a bit. Anger of AEK is trying to push these guys back, but they were going to stay on the back lines anyway, and all Anger of AEK did was sacrifice some of his health to do it, and there's a Sandstorm going down, and SK will have a lot of control over mid. Skyrix is also going to take advantage of the unwarranted aggression from Scooby, and Anger of AEK also is going to go a little bit too aggressive. Skyrix is going to use a gadget on that one. Ooh, and the stun onto Skyrix. Scooby will be able to get a kill off of this, but Semantic fires right back with damage of his own. Jetton also goes for a bunch of damage. Anger of AEK is trying to take advantage of these bushes to keep up the speed, but it's not going to be able to get him out of there. Scooby also speeds up himself in Hayabusa. Hayabusa, though, won't be able to really do much here. Skyrix still has a stun ready to go in Hayabusa. Yeah, that super is not going anywhere. It was a nice guess, but it wasn't going to get him anything. Good super there by Jetton. Anger of AEK is going to try and stay still to make something happen, but it's not going to get him anywhere. There's a stun by Hayabusa. He knows that there's no hope at this point, but SK, they're not exactly ones to spin. They don't want to be here to begin with, and Semantic, well, we know what he thinks about spinning. There's Scooby chilling over here. Love the Star Park pin and the spin from Hayabusa. That is going to be We Are Still Alive, no longer alive, but they are alive in our hearts. Congrats once again to SK Gaming. We Are Still Alive put forth a good effort, a good fight, but that is going to be the end of their journey through GameStars. They are going to be eliminated here as they get taken down in the elimination round. For SK Gaming, though, they persist, and they will be going into the decider match. So either they win the match and they head on to the international finals, or they lose the match and they are knocked out of GameStars, and their journey ends there as well. Let's get a replay, though, of the last set. SK did a phenomenal job this time. We saw the attempt at a double pull, but there was a whiff on the pull once, a bit of an auto aim there, kind of a desperation move there, and you know, it happens to the best of us, especially when we're under pressure like that. And I think versus SK, I absolutely don't blame them at all. Once again, SK Gaming completely showing up the competition, twice the gems, almost 3 times the damage, and, well, 5 times the kills. Once again, we see SK Gaming, they're getting the kills, but this time it's not even a similarity in damage. They're just that good. Not really much needs to be said here. I don't know how much can be said here. SK Gaming, they simply diffed these guys, and they are going to be coming back with fiery resolve in the decider match, either facing up against Tribe Gaming EU once more or Blue Sky. That is going to be the summary of the last set. Let's get a summary of the match overall. And this is SK Gaming, once again, getting about 3 times the kills as We Are Still Alive and twice the damage. I mean, not really much needs to be said. We can look at the best brawlers from SK Gaming, though, and once again, we're not really surprised. We love to see the great Rico play. We love to see Semantic on the Pam, Jetton on that Rico, and Skyrix on the Spike. Honestly, nothing shocking. We Are Still Alive, though. They tried to make it happen by bringing in the Frank and the Crow and the Mortis. They wanted to counter with the Crow. They wanted to counter with the Mortis. They wanted to counter with the Frank, but SK was just one step ahead of them. They knew when We Are Still Alive thought that they could counter, and they absolutely took advantage of that, and we're simply one step ahead most of the way. That is going to do it for match number 3 of the day. Match number 4 is on the way. It is going to be Tribe Gaming EU versus Sky Blue. The winner of that match takes home $400 and a ticket to the international finals for the round of 16. Don't go away. I'll see you guys in a few minutes after a short break.
Всем привет! Меня зовут Михаил, и вы можете знать меня как Ярмаш. В этой рубрике я вам расскажу об особенностях нашей замечательной игры Brawl Stars. И давайте же посмотрим, что я вам приготовил. На этот раз мы рассмотрим метателя Барби, который подходит под множество режимов и карт в Brawl Stars. Его гаджеты и супер могут помочь решить множество задач для команды, как отхилить своих тиммейтов, замедлить бота в режиме осада или нанести большое количество урона по сейфу в режиме ограбления. Например, в этом моменте Барли наносит большое количество урона по сейфу, зонит оппонента, так еще умудряется использовать гаджет, чтобы полечить своих тиммейтов. Действительно отличная игра от Барли. Не упускайте и вы свою возможность играть за этого бойца. Это все на сегодня. Надеюсь, что мои советы помогут вам в ваших предстоящих играх. Смотрите наши прямые трансляции и увидите применение этих фишек и не только.
And just like that, we are back with GameStars Season 2. I'm still ready, set. We're going to be getting into our fourth and final match of the day. Tribe Gaming EU versus Sky Blue. We've seen both of these guys blow the competition out of the water in their first couple matches of the day. And now time to see who will be getting that ticket to the international finals and taking home $400 off of their win today. Here's the bracket, and you can see how things have progressed throughout the day. SK Gaming went down in match number 1, but in match number 3, they came back with a show-stopping performance and won their spot in the decider match, where they'll play the loser of the winners match. We also saw Sky Blue take down We Are Still Alive 6-0, not a single loss on their record, and now they have earned their spot in the winners match to face Tribe Gaming EU for the chance to go to the international finals and win those $400. We'll see who takes the W in just a few minutes here as we are getting prepared to start up this match. Of course, same format as usual, 5 sets, each on a different map. Set number 1 is going to be on Sneaky Fields. Set number 2 on Nuts and Bolts. Set number 3 on Pit Stop. And should we not have a 6-0 sweep like we have for every other match today and even every single match yesterday, Dry Season and Minecart Madness will follow for set number 4 and 5. But in the case that we do have that 3-0 sweep as usual, Sneaky Fields, Nuts and Bolts, and Pit Stop will be the first 3 maps of the day. Sneaky Fields is an interesting one. I love all the bushes. I also like the fact that it was, in fact, designed by Lex. Lex, you know, the English content creator. That Lex, Brawl Stars, yeah, he's the one who made this map, and I think it's remarkable that it's in competitive, and I love this map in competitive. Here are the bans from both teams too. Lola and Lola. Well, I didn't expect Lola to use her clone here, but, you know, there's a first time for everything. Yep, Lola double ban. It is a consequence of the blind ban possibility that is present in both Brawl Stars Esports and in GameStars. We'll see what the second ban is coming up here soon. There's not a whole lot to say about the Lola ban. She's just a good brawler. There's a Rosa ban from Tribe Gaming U. Interesting. I do think Sky Blue did play the Rosa pretty well, especially on Sneaky Fields, and Tribe Gaming EU has most certainly noticed how important it is to get that momentum. They felt the momentum really working with them and to their advantage versus SK, and I think they are going to feel that once again, should that Rosa ban work to their advantage. Buzz also banned out. Tribe Gaming EU, they are very good at playing the Buzz, and I think this is a pretty targeted ban by Sky Blue. Let's see though, it could also be targeted at Dry Season. Here we see the members of Sky Blue getting ready for their match. Let's hope the best for them in their upcoming match. They do have a pretty tough one versus Tribe Gaming EU. And here's Drage once again. Yeah, Drage having a nice time. I wonder if he knows he's on broadcast. But yeah, I will say, as someone who has met Drage, he is a very, very cheerful guy and just, you know, an absolute pleasure to be around. On the other hand, though, Sky Blue, they are very, very focused. So Tribe Gaming EU having a nice time joking around in chat. Sky Blue, very, very much business focused and focusing on their match. They just submitted their bans and they're all getting ready for Sneaky Fields for their first set of the day. Yeah, so for the Lex map, every time I see Sneaky Fields, I go internally, Lex map, and the alarm is going off a lot today because we have seen quite a bit of Sneaky Fields. Talking about the brawlers that we could see on this map, though, usually we do see an Ems, we'll see maybe a B sometimes. B does account for the possibility of wall break if you're also going to run that in conjunction with a Frank, but Ems is really good when those bushes are all up, and you do need good coverage of the bushes to check a good portion of it, and for anyone who is in there, do a lot of damage to them. So I think Ems would be a really strong pick here. Combine that with like a Max or something, and you get something really, really devastating. We also saw the ban of Buzz and Rosa. So I think what that is going to mean is that we're going to have some Frank here. The challenge is going to be, though, that, well, we know almost for certain that Tom is going to be playing the Frank from the side of Tribe Gaming EU. So Sky Blue, I think they are pretty partial to the Frank too, so they're going to have to diff Tom on the Frank matchup, which is going to be a challenge, but best of luck to them. Or maybe they'll just go for something completely different. We also saw Tribe Gaming EU have Tom play the Primo, and they did that on Pinball Dreams, and it worked pretty well. Had some funny moments with the suplex supplement there at the end. Not going to see that at all, actually. We are going to see the M's, though. Tribe will be running the M's as well on the left side. Abdel Bassett is trying to get that Sandy plate on the right side, looking for that first Sandstorm. Lena doing a great job. There's a stun as well, and he's able to get that victory on the right lane. Does have to back out of the Sandstorm, though, as it is a Rude Sands Super that is going to reveal their location. A great start power to use on this map as it gives you good visibility of the bushes. Tom is going to go for this goal. Abdel Bassett dragged out there with Drage's pull, and amazing teamwork there from Tribe Gaming EU to get that first goal. Ryan using an interesting strategy of throwing out those attacks pretty fast, especially at mid, to get that first little bit of supercharge. He is going to try and block off a lane here. Abdel Bassett does go down, being very, very aggressive. We'll see how Lena pushes up on the left side. He is so fast, and Drage wanted to make it happen there with the super. Yeah, Drage is laughing. Tom is going to put that one in. Toxic Tom not being super toxic today. In fact, Lena and Drage are the only ones using the pins. So great stuff there from Tribe Gaming EU. That's going to be game number 1 wrapping up very, very quickly, but just about as quickly as we expected from Tribe Gaming EU. We saw how fast things went for SK versus We Are Still Alive, and considering that SK went 0-6 versus Tribe Gaming EU, yeah, we're expecting some really strong stuff from Tribe Gaming EU, and that is exactly what we will be getting. Not strong stuff as in Rosa's Super. They did ban that, mind you, but strong stuff in terms of mechanics. So after set number 1, I think Sky, they played pretty well, but they did look a little bit frantic there. And Tribe Gaming EU obviously put them into that state. I would be pretty nervous if I were playing against Tribe Gaming EU. Of course, Sky Blue did have to earn their way here through some pretty tough matchups. They also got a 6-0 versus We Are Still Alive, but even so, they got surprised time and time again by Lena on the Sandy, and I think that's really working against them. It's a tough brawler to play against, especially when he has a speed gadget equipped. It's honestly one of the most disrespectful brawlers that is available to play with the new gears. But of course, all is fair in love and war, and I can tell you this is most certainly not love. This is war. This is Tribe Gaming looking to go ahead and grab their $400 and head on to the international finals in a couple of weeks coming up here. That said, game number 1 is over. Game number 2 should be on the way pretty soon. Want to know what is coming, but I mean, Sky Blue, they try to make it happen with a pretty similar comp to Tribe Gaming EU. They obviously were not going to run the tanks right off the bat, and I'm pretty surprised that Tribe Gaming EU didn't run the tanks either. They knew that the tank counter was coming. And let's see, though. Sky Blue is going to try and have Naruto run this Mortis. They are going to be running Mort versus one of the better, rather, one of the best Morts in the world. Lena, probably the best Mort in EU, and this is a terrifying one. Maybe Lena will look to show off his skills if they get a little bit more comfortable. Abdel Bassett, though, is going to get cornered in here. Tom goes for the kill. Drage will look for this. Oop, the slow walk in. Drage lag walking a little bit, and Lena combos with the stun. Tribe Gaming shutting these guys down. There's a pole onto Ryan, and he goes down so quickly. Tom also does look for the boop away. Naruto gets dragged anyway, as Tom did not manage to get that gadget off. Ryan will look for something. He does have the boop, but he gets killed anyway. Tom also needs to receive this pass. He does manage to tank it, though. Great teamwork there from Lana and Tom to put that one in the goal and use their help as a collective pool to form this crazy bastion that rolls right into the goal. That is set number 1, going the way of Tribe Gaming EU. And Sky Blue taking their first loss. Well, we're well on our way to see a 6-0 sweep once again. As always, fingers crossed for the underdog in this matchup. Sky Blue, they did so well versus We Are Still Alive, and I'd love to see them take a win off of Tribe Gaming EU, because I do want to see these guys squirm a little bit. Obviously in a friendly way, right? I love to see their reactions. I want to see what Drage has to say on the cam, because man, he looks so cheerful. I want to know what his reaction will be if Sky Blue does something kind of unexpected. Anyway, Tribe Gaming, they've done such an amazing job. Here we can see once again they're forming like this sort of I don't know what you can even call it, a unified push, as they all use their health as one unit, and then toss the ball to the person closest to the goal. Here we see Tribe Gaming EU once again showing these guys up 16-1. Sheesh. And the damage is a little bit close, but it is clear who has the advantage here, and who is putting in the work and putting in the hours and taking what is theirs. Well, suddenly it doesn't rhyme when you use different pronouns, but Tribe Gaming EU has been doing an amazing job. Let's see if they're able to keep up the momentum on nuts and bolts. We always know that Tribe is big on the momentum, and they did a super good job of it in match number 1 versus SK. Versus Sky Blue, I think it's going to be more of Sky Blue feeling the effects of the momentum than Tribe relying on the momentum to carry them through this one. They've been playing so well throughout this one, and we haven't even really seen them using that much of the same strategy that they were using versus SK, where they send someone in to kind of YOLO and then get some sort of push off of that. Yeah, Drage not really sweating. Sky Blue not really sweating either, actually. They are not very concerned. They are keeping their cool, and this is exactly what you need to be doing in this kind of situation. Keep your cool, don't worry, and mentally reset after every single match. So good stuff from Sky Blue. Let's hope it nets them a victory as we move into nuts and bolts. It's going to be important for them to get that early take of mid. Here's the deal, though. Buzz is not available, so it's going to be a game of Mortis, and here comes Lana. Yep, you are playing Mortis versus Lana, and this is not going to go very well. The best Mortis in EMEA, and let's see what he's able to make of it. Ryan is going to get pushed over to the right side. Abdel Bassett is going to be taking a bunch of damage from Lana. Lana is going to go down, though. He's just trying to charge with that super, but as a consequence, he is going to charge Abdel Bassett's super a little bit, which is going to allow Abdel Bassett to consistently push him back. Let's see how it works out, though. Drage does get the pushback on Abdel Bassett, and there's the Vortex, but this is honestly good for Lana to push him back, or rather to force him to use this Vortex, as that's one less Vortex that he can use on defense. Abdel Bassett is going to try and get something over here. He does get the super off on Lana, but now he's down, rather not down a super. It looks like Lana did feel the effects of that Vortex right before it expired. Naruto not really sweating here, as Sky Blue is surprisingly close to Tribe's bolt count here. If Tribe takes this bot, then they are going to have to defend for the final one. Lana goes super aggressive and does open up some good opportunities for both Drage and Tom. 10-6, now 10-7 on the bolt count. And Tribe will be getting the second bot of the game, and they have a big lead to take back. Sky Blue is going to try and get an early retake, no doubt. Let's see what Drage does. Does go for the stun on Abdel Bassett. Lana picks up, nope, not going to pick up the kill. It is going to go to Drage. Lana still going for a kill over here. Does get the kill onto Stu. Drage also helping out that bot, getting some damage. Lana goes for something very aggressive on Ryan, and Ryan doesn't really back away as much as he should. He's being very aggressive, and I think Lana is really trying to assert his control over here, and it's not working super well versus Ryan, who is really playing very aggressive. And looks like Tom and Drage are just going to go for it. Is Tom going to be able to get enough damage on that Ike? Well, it's going to go down to 5%. Had Abdel Bassett not had that super, it would have been a different story. Lana is going to try and be on full health as he goes for this final dive onto the Ike. Is it going to work out? Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it. Lana did go down, and now it's about defense. Drage does have that Polar Vortex at the ready, though. That bot is going to have to change course. Let's see how Tribe plays around it. Sky Blue needs to get a lot of damage here, and they've only gotten 1% off. Naruto can push through. There's the damage on the save, but that is all they are going to get. 29%. That bot is taking the long way around. Didn't even punch the save even once. And Tribe takes their 3rd win in a row. I think this calls for some sort of like Mortis counter from the side of Sky Blue. I think a Surge could do pretty well here. Even if Tribe Gaming EU decides to bring some sort of thrower or something, that Surge can do pretty well with the teleport as well. So I think that that would be in store for Sky Blue. The thing is, we have not really seen them play a whole lot of Surge. So that would not be something we've really seen yet. Not really a big judgment that we can make based on the possibility of Surge, because we don't know how well they play it. So that could be the change that we expect in the next game. It looked like their Gale also wasn't able to do a whole lot, as the Vortexes and the Supers were being constantly baited out of him by Lana, who just had so much mobility and had a lot of support as well from Gale. So with that considered, I think this is still Tribe EU's game. You're playing Mortis against Lana. You banned out Buzz, but you didn't get rid of the man's Mort. And we are not actually going to see the Mort this time. I think that Sky Blue really was thinking that he was going to play the Mort again. And, maybe thought of a counter here. Ryan is going to be playing a tank counter over here. Naruto is not going to be able to make it through this Vortex here. Lana's going to play around it as well. Tom is going to leave that bolt to the last few seconds if he can. Does want to tie up on this first siege or barely get the win, and he is going to barely get the win. And Tribe Gaming will get the free control of mid just based off of this bot. Doubling down as well with the use of that Sandstorm to get them some damage as well. They need to push Sky Blue back so that Tom can start to get some damage on that Ike. Barley is so effective for getting the damage on the Ike, and Tom is really showing us how it's done. Already 45% damage done just with normal attacks, and then an additional 11% done with the super. And Tom doesn't stop there. He's going to keep on pressuring back B. Though, there's a kill on a Drage from Naruto, and this is going to change things up quite a bit. Lana is also trying to get good value with the speed of the bush. Naruto is staying just out of range, and he's doing so absolutely beautifully. But as soon as he slows down just a little bit, he gets gotten by Drage and Lana. Once again, take back control of that left lane. They will be matching the 5 bolt count. There's almost no way for Sky Blue to take that final siege at this point. So it's going to come down to what they're able to do on this push. And considering 2 of their members are down after that last push, after that last bolt collection phase, they are not going to get any value whatsoever off of this bot. And that is simply devastating, as they have no brawlers that can really push in and get significant damage. Tribe Gaming, they're only 3 bolts away from getting that purple bot too, and that additional speed and health is going to be so instrumental in getting a little bit more damage. But really, this game is already over. Abdel Bassett could kind of walk in there and get a stun off, but besides that, Sky Blue has already won it. It doesn't look like Abdel Bassett's going to go for it. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to go for it. He could break down a wall right here and try and go for Tom, but Tom would have that super ready to go, and there's the level 8 siege bot actually for Sky Blue. This is actually quite surprising. I think Tribe Gaming didn't think it would be possible for Sky Blue to do this, but Tribe are going to try and defend nonetheless. It's a big amount of damage to be done. Abdel Bassett's going to use that super to break down the walls, and it's not really going to help him crack the defense of this save. There's a bit of damage there dealt by Ryan, but it's not enough to get them a win. Tribe Gaming takes their 4th win in a row, and they take set number 2 handily, which will send us right into set number 3. GG there for Tribe. Set number 3 is on the way, and set number 2 is history. Yeah, or perhaps was that just game number 1? I don't believe it was just game number 1. We'll have to get the replay of the last game. Yeah, there we go. 2 versus 0. Tribe Gaming does claim this set victory, and we'll be heading into set number 3. But first, some replays. Let's see what worked for Tribe and what didn't for Sky Blue. Lana did have some difficulties at first. He was able to pop off when necessary. He went very, very aggressive on these Sui missions, and it opened up a lot of space for his teammates to get some control and get in proper positioning. Because when you're in the proper position, then yeah, you can take on a couple of brawlers at once. It's not going to be very easy, but I mean, if you're 2 brawlers, then yeah, now you can make a 2 versus 3 happen, and that's exactly what happened. Lana repeatedly going for those Sui missions and making it possible for his teammates. But when we look at the kills, it's a bit of a different story. I think this is a bit of Tribe feeding some kills to Sky Blue, knowing that feeding them a kill is not going to be that much of a deal, considering the value that they get out of the aggression and the impact of control that Sky Blue is feeling as a result of those Sui missions that we were talking about earlier. Though they do get a lot more damage with the Ike when it's important. I would mainly attribute that to Tom on the Barley, and then of course the damage front is important too. Even getting equal kills, Tribe Gaming is getting more damage, and there's an argument to be made that Sky Blue, they get the same amount of kills with less damage, and they're doing it right. But honestly, I don't know if that needs to be said in this scenario. Let's see if it happens on Pit Stop for set number 3. This could be our final set of the day if Tribe continues the trend and keeps this at a 3-0 sweep only day. We are going to be moving in any moment now, but Pit Stop, let's talk about the map a little bit. We have these lanes that do have a little, a few holes in them, do have some bushes available, but the mid is probably my favorite part of this environment, as you have this single little potted plant that you can play around in. Drage is playing around with it a little bit. He is going to take some damage from Ryan as soon as he rounds the corner, but also those little bushes to the side, you often see tanks hide in those, and you can easily take advantage of that if you're a mid-range brawler. Let's see what Tom is able to do, though, as BB already thwacking that safe. Lena taking a lot of damage, but dealing just as much damage back. Does get taken out by the supply drop, but Tom is unfazed. Bunch of damage with the bubble and keeps on smacking the safe. Just off of that first push within the first 36 seconds, 70% damage done. Lena is ready to rush out. There's a Stomper. He's not going to get a whole lot of damage, but he does take a lot of damage, which is going to get him additional damage output. Does get taken down by Abdel Bassett, but it's hardly a concern as Drage is going to jump in when he can. Ooh, great juke onto Ryan's Killer B, and Drage will get 8 additional % on the save as Lena gets ready to jump in. He goes for the Stomper on Ryan, but is shut down. Let's see what Tom's able to do. Nope, great defense actually by Sky. Tribe is getting a little bit impatient. They want to finish out this match already, but Sky Blue brought the long-range comp against some short-range brawlers, and that's looking pretty good for them. Drage almost gets the kill, but now uses his final Stomper and gets a kill off of it. Tom looks for the value with the bubble, and 2460 health remain on that save. Drage is going to look to jump in here. Let's see if Ryan can slow him down. No, it is going to be Naruto to claim that kill. But Tom keeps on pressing forward, and so does Lena. He keeps on baiting these shots out of Ryan. He just has to keep on doing that. It looks like Tom is going to be able to make his way over to the safe. 1, 2 shots, and it's over. That's Tribe Gaming taking game number 1 of set number 3, and thus bringing us to match point. Great performance there by Tribe Gaming, and honestly, I think we saw Sky Blue starting to shape up there towards the end as the walls kept on breaking down and they were able to get more valuable shots and more control as a result. But it just seemed like Tribe Gaming EU was getting really staggered, and they were using it to their advantage. When you have brawlers who are staggered, you cannot employ the strategy of lining up a bunch of brawlers and profiting off of multiple target attacks, which is not really what Sky was bringing here. Maybe an Ems would be able to deal with the tanks a lot better, but Ems is not going to be able to do much with all the walls up, so having those walls broken down is going to be necessary for that strategy. I think Sky could absolutely bring this one back, get at least one victory here, but if the trend is going as we have seen all of today, it's going to look like another 6-0 sweep. Let's see what Tribe tries to do and switch this up in the final game, because I mean, they're just one game away and they might look to finish this one out pretty quickly. They did it in the last game too. They brought out the, if you want to call triple tanks, I don't really think so. If you want to call Edgar a tank, then I mean, I think you're wrong, but also it does mesh really well with the tank strategy. I think Edgar and BB do really go hand in hand. Bull really is just the cherry on top. Here we see Drage once again. He's ready to get the job done and hang up his coat and go home. Well, he's probably already at home, playing at home, unless there's like a Tribe HQ that I don't know about. Let's see what Sky Blue does. Once again, they're keeping their composure, and they are going to be picking up a couple brawlers that were successful for Tribe in the last game. They are not going for the BB though, which I think was a major component of the strategy. Naruto's going to go for the base race. What? Abdel Bassett is going to be left alone on defense, and Drage is going to try and get this all by himself. Does force Abdel Bassett to go over to the other side, and Drage is almost going to get locked out of spawn by a Polar Vortex. Naruto is going to be forced to defend here, and this is a big mistake by Sky Blue to go for the base race. This is not the strategy at all. Drage is able to pick up yet another kill over here, and Tom and Lena work together to get that defense. Naruto is going to also be popping that gadget to charge up his next super, and there is the Polar Vortex, an attempt at shoving people away, but it's not going to do much. Tribe Gaming go to town on the safe, and they claim the victory over Sky Blue. That is going to be Tribe Gaming heading out of the international group stage and onto the international finals. Congratulations to Tribe. Very well played throughout the day, not taking a single loss, not even against SK Gaming, which is quite terrifying. This roster is looking so good. I think the addition of Lena makes this team very unpredictable, and Lena seems to mesh really well with the team's playstyle. Let's get a recap of the last set and see what Tribe did right. They played so aggressive, and they got amazing dodges in close range. Great jukes, great dodges when they needed to. Sky Blue did fire back at some points, especially towards the end of game number 1. They were looking pretty good, but so much damage had been dealt already, and this last push from Lena and Tom pretty much sealed the deal. Game number 2 was when Sky Blue tried something different, and they found out that it didn't work, unfortunately. And that was the base race. It did not work well at all. Naruto went all the way towards the base, and you can see Naruto kept his cool most of the time, but I think internally he was really hoping to finish this one out and get a victory already. Here we can see the stat comparison as well. Tribe Gaming EU, less damage on the enemy team, more damage focused on that safe. Say kills though. I mean, Sky Blue, they did do a good job of dismantling Tribe's offense as they were nearing the end of game number 1, but Tribe Gaming EU was still able to slip through the cracks a few times and grab the victory in the end. So well played by both teams in set number 3, but once again, it's going to be a 2-0 sweep by the expected winner. Underdog going home empty-handed. Well, not necessarily. Sky Blue will still have the chance to compete in the decider match. Let's see if their stats are good enough to get them through SK. SK is going to have to face against Tribe Gaming EU once again, so that is nice for them. They'll get a match versus Sky Blue. Sky Blue is going to have to face off against SK, which is going to be quite challenging. And the stats are looking actually pretty good in terms of damage. For kills, still Tribe Gaming doing pretty well. As far as the best brawlers, Sky Blue are doing very well on the meta brawlers, doing well on M's and B, which is great for dealing with tanks, and also Sandy, which is super common in the current meta, and we've seen SK run that one too. So knowing how to play that brawler and knowing how to play against that brawler as a consequence is going to help them in their matchup on the 18th, which you can see here. The decider will be played between Sky Blue and SK Gaming. One team will go home, the other goes on to the international finals. In our winners match, however, Tribe Gaming EU, the victor of today, amassing 12 consecutive wins off of this entire journey, will be heading on to the international finals, and they'll be getting $400 out of it. Congratulations to them once again. May they have a lot of luck and good fortune in the international finals. They have a lot of time to prepare for it as well, because they are in Group C. This is pretty early on in the international group stage. They will be going on the stream once again for the international finals in a little over a week now. And here you can see the record for the day. SK Gaming going down to Tribe. We Are Still Alive going down to Sky Blue, and SK Gaming coming back with a 3-0 over We Are Still Alive. We Are Still Alive, unfortunately, going home, and Tribe Gaming EU taking a nice 3-0 over Sky Blue. Sky Blue going down to the decider match. But good wins all around, and good losses too, I think. All around, I think we saw some good matches, even if the scoreboard does not really reflect how close some of these matches were. I would say most notably between Tribe and SK earlier on in the day. With that though, that is going to be the end of the Group C group stage. We hope you come back around for the decider match on the 18th, where you can see SK compete versus Sky Blue and see who is heading on to the international finals and grabbing $400. With that, though, this is also the end of the GameStars Season 2 stream for the day. Make sure you come back tomorrow to see Group D compete. We do have some great teams competing tomorrow as well. We are going to see Blows Gaming versus ZXC Team and Platoon versus Mood Gaming. So I hope to see you guys then. But for now, this has been Ready Set. This has been GameStars Season 2. And I hope you enjoyed the stream. I'll see you same time, same place tomorrow.
Brawlers! This showdown will make history! Best teams from Russia, Ukraine, Poland, France and Turkey. Winners of the Open qualifiers and top 8 invited teams will meet in a final battle for the champion title and a bounty of $10,000. Join the stream on December the 7th. Don't miss out on the epic international group stage of GameStars Brawl Stars Season 2.